The Roll for the Poll, Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern, right here on ESPN2. Dr. Jerry Punch, Benny Parsons, and Bill Weber bring you all the qualifying action from the Martinsville Speedway. Bobby Labonte won the pole for the race last year. See if he can do it again. Friday afternoon on The Deuce. That does it for now. Back here again Friday night at 7 Eastern with full Winston Cup qualifying. Good night, everybody.
Tampa Bay goalie Darren Pupa suffered a meltdown Tuesday night in Philadelphia where the Flyers struck early and often, turning the Lightning goal crease into a red light district. The onslaught had Tampa Bay coach Terry Crisp looking for answers behind the bench, but there were none. The Flyers punished Tampa Bay all night long, allowing Eric Lindros and company to run wild. It was a rout in the second period, 6-0 before Tampa Bay woke up. Goals were coming from every direction. The Flyers looked every bit a conference champion. They'll look for more of the same tonight. Welcome live to the Spectrum in South Philadelphia. Game 2, Eastern Conference quarterfinal series is the Tampa Bay Lightning trying to even their series with the Philadelphia Flyers. And a pleasant good evening to you, everyone. I'm Tom Mees with Darren Pang. And Darren, an off day for both teams here yesterday. I think Tampa spent Wednesday trying to forget Tuesday night.
Well, there were a lot of things to forget if you're the Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean, let's face it, they're a young team, an inexperienced team. The last thing you want to do is start this hockey game on your heels. But there was a big reason for the Tampa Bay Lightning to be on their heels, and it was called physical abuse. Physical abuse administered by the Philadelphia Flyers. They were dominant in every facet of the game in the opening 10 minutes of play. And not just the role players. How about John LeClair setting the tone on Selivanov, physically abusing the key members of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Bradley goes down. Rod Brindamore was excellent, and he eliminates a check in Michel Petit. How would Roman Hammerlich like to have this again for another 25 minutes in this game tonight? I don't think so. And again, time and time again, the Philadelphia Flyers made their presence known against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And if it wasn't clean, well, it might have been a little chippy, setting the tone for the next game as John Druce showed Chris Gratton.
Well, the Tampa Bay Lightning, Darren, by their own admission, did not have a lot of playoff experience coming in. Can you learn a lot of experience from that 7-3 waxing?
You don't learn overnight, but one thing you're going to have to learn is, obviously, this is a determined team in the Philadelphia Flyers, but they've got to be better prepared for this game. To make matters worse for Terry Crisp and the Tampa Bay Lightning is their key guy, Brian Bradley, will not play. Peter Klima will take his place.
Of course, Darren Pupa will be back in the nets for Tampa Bay tonight. You know, during the regular season, number 93's goals against average, 2.45. He's the biggest reason why Tampa Bay made the playoffs. If they're to have fun in this series and try and even it up tonight, he's got to come back to his regular season form. Pupa must be super in Game 2.
Don't blink. Get ready for a weekend of exciting motorcycle racing, April 26th, 27th, and 28th. See national champion Miguel Duhamel shred leather with America's best riders at the Toyota Challenge of Laguna Seca, featuring the Rotten Robbie Superbike race. It's a rockin' weekend with the 250 Grand Prix, 600 and 750 Super Sports, Harley Davidson, the Super Teams Challenge, and new this year, sidecars. Don't blink. Call 1-800-327-SECA, the Toyota Challenge of Laguna Seca.
Oh, yeah. If you think a tin shed can hold up like a tough shed, you're in for a big surprise.
Tough Shed at the 101 and Trimble Road, 727-TOUGH, 727-TUFF.
Rule number 52, face off. Rule number 25, to play the game, use a puck. The Stanley Cup playoffs tomorrow at 7:30. The NHL rules on ESPN2.
Hey, welcome. We're just about to give up some playoff hockey. Game 2, the Lightning, the Flyers. That game just moments away. But there's other hockey going on, and we'll keep you up to date on that all night long during the game and also at the period breaks. Montreal and the Rangers just underway, no score. Rangers don't want to go down 0-2. They've never won a series down 0-2.
Paul Dvorsky, the linesman, Brad Lazarowicz, and Randy Mitten, the Flyers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Philly with a 1-game-to-none lead after a 7-3 pasting of Tampa Bay in game number 1. Let's take a look at the goalies, beginning with Tampa Bay's Darren Pupa.
Well, one thing about Darren Pupa in this game, he was a little passive in game 1. He got caught inside his goal crease an awful lot, wasn't challenging the shooters, but he's a fairly resilient person. It's part of his personality, and he didn't seem much bothered by what happened. I'm sure deep down inside it did, but he's ready to react for this one. Meanwhile, Ron Hextall, I'm sure in this one, see that 14 save, just 17 shots. He never had time in game 1 to get in any kind of groove.
Face off for the Philadelphia end. Peter Svoboda controls for the Flyers. We have the Brindamore line out there. Brindamore, Bruce, and also Balloon. That line was arguably Philadelphia's best in game 1. Hextall takes the entry pass from Tampa Bay and backs it off the boards, but not out. Down the corner, it's Salavano. Oh, a hard hit on Carl Dykhouse behind the goal. Play continues, elbows get up. And the puck dribbles to center. Ulanov couldn't contain it. Now it's Hextall.
Tampa Bay's got to feel real good about already the first minute of this hockey game. Just because of what happened in the first minute of game 1, 55 seconds into it, Dale Howardchuk scored to make it a 1-0 game. Meanwhile, a pretty good hit right off the hop in this hockey game, and it came from the body of Sean Burr. He had an excellent hit in game 1. This one on Carl Dykhouse. That's a great hit. Taking Dykhouse off the puck, a clean hit along the boards. He said in game 1 he wanted to establish some type of physical presence. He did. And he had a couple of good hits, but unfortunately, Philadelphia dominated, and there's the numbers, and that backs up that stat.
Sean Burr's big hit in game 1 was also against Dykhouse. Burr told me today the game 1 disaster was a cold slap in the face, and he hopes he and his teammates have awoken here for game number 2. Here's Bellows behind the Philadelphia goal. Lightning with some pressure in the Philadelphia end, but it comes out on the stick of Leclerc. Leclerc held up by Michel Petit, but it's Lindros in the slot. Lindros to Leclerc, trying to deflection. Never got in on Pupa. Centering attempt, and Dvorsky is going to call the Tampa Bay Lightning for a cross-check, and we'll get another early look at the Philadelphia power play.
Well, in game 1, the Philadelphia Flyers made it a point of getting in front of goaltender Darren Pupa. This is a bad start for Terry Crisp and the Lightning, with Philadelphia going on the power play. Right off the bat, Chris Gratton's going to go off for cross-checking. He's the guilty party for the Tampa Bay Lightning. But you get in front of Darren Pupa, and as I was saying, the traffic in front, confusion, bothering him. Good give and go right here. And actually, Leclerc, for one of the first times in a long time, he didn't have that magic. It went off the heel of his stick, and it was like a little dump in there after a good pass by Howardchuk. But you saw him go down. Chris Gratton goes to the penalty box, first power play of the game.
Gratton 6'4", 218. He can throw his weight around. Flyers power play 2 for 7 with 7 shots in the first game. And it's Lindros out there with Joel Otto, John Leclerc, Desjardins, and Dale Howardchuk. That's the power play hitter. Howardchuk right point through traffic. Pupa had the glove on him, but it was going wide. Lindros along the board, surveying the ice. Loses control of the puck, but Tampa Bay can't clear it. It's Leclerc. Taminer intercepts for the Lightning. Comes out to Howardchuk, and he scores! Dale Howardchuk, for the second game in a row, gets the first goal for Philadelphia.
Just some horrendous clearing by the Tampa Bay Lightning. They had a couple of chances, but they're complaining about that hook by Eric Lindros. And because of that little hook, the puck goes right over to Dale Howardchuk, who snuck in. There's the hook. Zaminer goes down, but there's still 2 Tampa Bay Lightning right there. Holder and Anderson can't get a hold of the puck, and the one-timer eludes Darren Pupa through traffic on the stick side.
So Dale Howardchuk Hawerchuk, who's fast become a fan favorite here in Philadelphia, puts the Flyers on the board. It took Philadelphia only 32 seconds of that power play to come up with the first goal. Here comes Tampa Bay. Aaron Gaby got a pass from Peter Klima off of his stick, and Klima loses his lumber right in front of Hextall. Trent Platt. And at center for Bob Corkum. Dribbles off his stick and on Pupa. Desjardins back at center. Flyers got exactly what they wanted, an early power play and an early goal. John Cullen gets a big hit from Joel Otto. Flyers starting to throw their weight around again, but as I say that, Selivanov picks up a loose puck. Chris Therien buries Selivanov. Michael Renberg in the lineup for the first time in the playoffs. Gets it ahead to Sean Podine. This is a punishing line. Otto, Renberg, and Podine. Here's Renberg. Joel Otto misses the hit from Ulanov, and Sean Burr takes it away. Oh, nice play by Renberg, keeping the puck deep, but Burr is back on it. Burr up to Ulanov. Hextall well out of his net as he was several times in game one to play it. This time I'll leave it for Big Shell Samuelson. John Burr again throwing his weight around, went into Samuelson and disappeared. Got swallowed up.
Yeah, that's been one line that has been going for Tampa Bay, starting with John Burr. But the hitting continues.
Therien puts his shoulder into Chris Crackton behind the Philadelphia goal. Now it's Jason Weimer. His pass over to Stinker Crackton. The Rose will clear it. Loose at center. And now Tampa Bay gets organized at their blue line. Ulanov, as they say that, put it behind Billy Holder. Holder couldn't clear it. Leclerc from the point. Tip in by Hawerchuk. And now a rebound in front for Lindros, who couldn't get anything on it. Ryan Bellows at center. Takes the long one on Hextall, and Desjardins is there with the rebound. Loose at center, and finally Tampa Bay just bumps it off the boards and in for line change. Flyers dump into the Tampa Bay end, and John Bruce chases. Michel Petit gets there first. Petit off the boards, not out. Intercepted, Brindamore, shot just wide, stick side. They're oohing and ahhing with every Flyer shot tonight.
I think Pupa might have got the shaft of the stick on that one, and if he did, that's good news for Darren Pupa to field the puck and make a save.
Four-man scrum at the Flyer blue line. Aaron Gaby sends it around the boards. It'll be picked up there by Svoboda. The breaking Brindamore, but offside. Ahead of the play was Pat Falloon, 1-0 Philadelphia.
Chris Therien, who's having a super second year in the National Hockey League. Selivanov's a very tricky individual one-on-one player. Therien didn't have anything to do with that. He looked at the middle of the crest of Selivanov and took him out. And the same thing for Lindros on Ulanov. Welcome into your very first playoff game for Igor Ulanov, who comes into the lineup. Rudy Poshek is out of the lineup. He's got a sore neck, and the Tampa Bay Lightning have made a couple of changes in their lineup.
Of course, we mentioned in our pregame, Brian Bradley takes a lot of offense with him, not in the Tampa Bay lineup tonight as we have another whistle-stopping play. Now, Michael Renberg is back in the Philadelphia lineup. He missed game one. At about the time they were dropping the puck for game one, his fiancée was delivering their first child at a Philadelphia area hospital, a little baby girl named Emmy, and he said he was really nervous about missing the game, and then 5 minutes after the baby was born, the doctor said, "Don't worry, it's 1-0. 2 minutes later, the doctor comes back in, says it's 2-0. 2 minutes later, it's 3-0. He said, "I didn't worry from there on out."
How about this? The nurses were laughing at him. I guess in between contractions and pushing, he was doing stretches in the hospital room, stretching, thinking he might come back to this hockey game.
He was so excited, and it's always great to see a new papa, especially for the first time, and Flyer fans welcoming him back and his teammates tonight. And he's a big presence, as is that man, Sean Podine. When he's out there on the ice, he goes full bore, and he's like a bull in a china shop, number 25.
Sean Podine has been excellent for the Philadelphia Flyers. This guy is not known around the National Hockey League, but boy, is he ever well known here and appreciated right here in Philadelphia. He gets caught for a little high stick right here. Michel Petit has the puck, and the stick actually gets him on the left shoulder. It wasn't up very high, and it was a marginal call at best, but Sean Podine, who was just terrific as well in Game 1, he led the Flyers in hits. Everywhere Brian Bradley went in Game 1, Sean Podine was in his face. Brian Bradley is not playing in this hockey game. The knee's bothering him. I'm wondering about the rest of the body as well. He took a beating.
Roman Hammerlich behind his own goal. Remember the Lightning on the power play here, but the Flyers trying to hem them up. Ron Brindamore causing havoc. We got Cullen out there with Hammerlich, Klima, Sullivanov, and Chris Gratton. That's the power play unit. It was not very effective on Tuesday night. Nothing was. Gratton has attempt for Klima. Pokes it ahead for Hammerlich in the slot. John Cullen. This wide glove side. Klima back to the left point. Collins over his stick. Hammerlich cannot hold it in. And Brindamore tie each other up. And Kevin Haller just backhands it down the ice.
Well, Roman Hammerlich got his wish in an odd sort of way, but his buddy Peter Klima is in the lineup for this hockey game, and they're manning the point on the power play together. It's a big game for Peter Klima. We'll get into that as the game goes on, but I think there's a lot of pressure on the youngster to play well. He has made several remarks that were selfish yesterday concerning how much ice time he has gotten.
There's a turnover at center. Joel Otto and Hammerlich go to the corner. Hammerlich gets there first. Four-man pileup in the Tampa Bay zone. The Lightning have only got that one shot, and it was not on target on Hextall. 32 seconds left in the Lightning power play, and Hextall, as he did several times Tuesday, gets control and ices it himself. Right back out to center, though. Pupa sends Aaron Gavey in. Back pass to Michel Petit. Hits a stick. Deflects to the corner. Flyers short-handed. Here comes Brindamore. 2-on-2 with Svoboda. Brindamore pulls up smartly, and it's offside, but it'll rag a lot of time off that penalty clock with 12:26 to go in the first period.
As I was saying about Roman Hammerlich, the fine young defenseman from the Tampa Bay Lightning, he has literally taken a lot of momentum and a lot of the chemistry and the camaraderie out of the Tampa Bay Lightning locker room with his comments that were made yesterday. He talked to Roy Cummins, one of the beat writers in Tampa Bay, and really approached him. And here's what was said as we say he was stirring the pot. "I not play much. If I was a Canadian, I would play more." Here's the response from Terry Crisp. This has nothing to do with his being European. Phil Esposito got his 2 cents in as well. And if I was the coach, he'd be playing even less than he is now. Get to the bottom line. He's complaining about ice time. His minutes have gone from 23 to 30. Coaching staff, Terry Crisp and Wayne Cashman, they've insisted. The reason is he goes against the top players 5-on-5. He plays the power play. He's been running out of gas and hasn't played well lately. They want him for 5-on-5 against the top players. They want him for the power play. Other guys can kill penalties.
Penalty to Sean Podine has expired, so Philadelphia kills out the first Lightning man advantage. Peter Svoboda absorbs a hard hit in the corner. John LeClaire deflects a centering pass to the boards. Michel Petit around the boards over the stick examiner. And the Flyers clear to center. Hextall comes out of his net, but Dykhouse helps him out. And the puck deflecting all the way down the ice. This should be icing in Philadelphia. Holder gets there first, and he does. Just beating Eric Lindros to the puck. Face off in the Philadelphia zone when we return.
Terry Murray is extremely pleased with the enthusiasm and the confidence shown by his club in the off day. He's not worried. He feels they're in very good shape. The attitude was fine this morning at practice. Confidence is strong. Another thing he's happy about, Tommy, and I think we all know this by now, but he's got more veterans. The balance is there, and the expectations this year are higher. Results in better play all the way around.
Well, as the Flyers started their climb to respectability the last few years, the big knock was, yes, they have Lindros, but they don't have much depth behind him. Well, you can't say that anymore here in Philadelphia. John Drews falls down in the Tampa Bay zone, trips up Cullen, no penalty. Drews maintained control and got it to Lindros, and it's poked away. Drews and Cullen again meet by the board. They both go down. Yulanov behind the goal. He takes a hard hit from Brindamore. Everybody is running at people for Philadelphia. Hextall again out of the goal to cut off the entry pass. Brindamore beats Sullivanov to the loose puck. John Drews with a long shot on Pupa. McCullough over to Alexander Selivanov. Locked off by Philadelphia, and then finally the centering pass slipped aside by Hextall. Bob Corkum takes it away at center. Quinn is the trailer. Corkum just dribbles it on Pupa as the Flyers are outnumbered. Now David Shaw for Tampa Bay, quickly up to Brian Bellows. Bellows tries to get around Desjardins, can't do it. And a whistle from Dvorsky as the goal comes off the mooring, and we'll have a stoppage in play. The playoffs continue. The Stanley Cup playoffs do tomorrow on the Deuce. Winnipeg Jets at Detroit. Winnipeg gave Detroit all they could handle for 2 periods last night. You'll see it at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. That's on the Deuce. Also tomorrow night on ESPN, the mothership, it'll be the Washington Capitals Pittsburgh Penguins, game number 2, and it's crucial for Pittsburgh. They blew a 4-1 lead on home ice last night. Will Yager and Lemieux get revenge on Peter Bondra and company? Find out tomorrow at ESPN.
Behind the net, Ron Hextall playing the puck now. Selivanov right here is in his way, gives him a nice little nudge, but I noticed, and then he gives him a little hook. I noticed earlier than that, Selivanov made a point of going right through the crease, whether he said something or maybe got his stick around the pads of Ron Hextall. Obviously, the game plan for Tampa Bay, try to get in the face, try to get Ron Hextall off his game.
Bratton won the face-off back to Bellows. His shot was one. Still 1-0 Philadelphia about midway through the first period. 2 nights ago this time, it was already 2-0. Chris Bratton for Tampa Bay. Bratton giving some room. Centers the puck. Weaver had his stick tied up by Desjardins. Back the other way is Leclerc. And look at John Leclerc go. Darren Pupa, and he almost carried it in with him. He came inches of carrying that puck back over the goal line as Leclerc and Lindros had it going.
Oh, there are 2 great things that happened in this play. The great speed of John Leclerc and the chemistry between Leclerc and Lindros. Transition game. Look at Howard-Chuck deep in his own zone, right through the gut. Michel Petit and Hammerlick 2 wide apart. Give and go. What a brilliant save to end this great rush. Brilliant save by Darren Pupa. 1, the great puck movement by Philadelphia and the great speed and the hustle of John Leclerc, unselfishly giving the puck to Lindros. And that puck, after the save was made, hit the skate of Petit, came back, and boy, that dribbled awfully close to the goal line. Oh, Leclerc's got great wheels. I mean, we talk about his size and his hands. I think he's skating better than he has ever skated before. He just has that jump, that bust through the neutral zone. And in Tampa Bay's got to be careful. I mean, you can't have Hammerlick on one side and Michel Petit on the other side. Partner of the Red Seas, he's going to bust that wide open.
And did Leclerc ever end the regular season in a flourish, Darren? 19 goals his last 19 games, 51 for the season.
Brilliant. Really, just a brilliant year.
Plays on in the Tampa Bay Lightning zone. Flyers on the loose puck. Trent Plato is tied up by Holder. Kyle Dykhouse with a backhand into the corner. Quinn looks for Corkum and finds him. Puck comes out to center. Dykhouse.
Good job by Corey Cross. He hooked the elbow of the hand of Danny Quinn, and the Flyers had the zone cleared by Tampa Bay.
Corey Cross tried just to jump in, but Svoboda intercepts for Philadelphia. Platt and Cross get angry with one another as Danny Quinn skates in. Quinn on the backhand, Pupa the save, and let's check in now with Kenny Mayne for a Stanley Cup update.
Hey, we got one. New York, Montreal. Montreal shorthanded. Vincent Damphousse rips it off from Bryant Leach, and he's going in on his own. He fakes left, he fakes right, he shoots, he scores. It's 1-0 Montreal.
Well, Damphousse, Darren, was a terror in Game 1 for New York, and he's at it again tonight.
You know, Vincent Damphousse had an outstanding year this year, and in fact, many folks in Montreal want him for the Selke Trophy. He went against the other team's top players and still had a great offensive year. He's got terrific hands, and he's key in clutch situations, Tommy.
Meanwhile, here at the Spectrum, the Flyers are going on the power play again. Corey Cross has been sent to the penalty box. 2 minutes for roughing on Cross at 10:46. So the Flyers, who scored on their only power play of the night, get another shot.
Didn't take him long on that first power play. Howard-Chuck's ripped from the 1 point. Howard-Chuck playing the right point, slid in and let it fly through traffic. That, of course, a minute and 48 seconds into this hockey game. One thing, though, with Tampa Bay right now, they're seeing Darren Pupa stopping the puck. And that's got to give them a whole heck of a lot of confidence. And that's the last thing Eric Lindros and the Flyers want, is to let him get going on his game.
Milano wins the face-off cleanly. Howard-Chuck at the point. He's just one rebound. Lindros, and he had an open net but couldn't control it. And the Lightning clear it.
Love the way Philly does that. You know, Dale Hamilton's very good at reading the play, letting the puck go through traffic. He knows the right time to let it go.
Leclerc skates in again, trips over the skate of Holder. Further, Ulano tries to clear, comes out on the skate. Mikhail Anders should have had one of the Tampa Bay goals on Tuesday. He shot well wide, and the Flyers are out to center again. Howard's up, little nifty pass, but it's intercepted this time by Sean Berg. Berg just taking his time, ragging time on that penalty clock. They have a history. We'll get into that if they should hook up in the game. Leclerc takes a hard hit. Throws his weight around and sends Aaron Gavey to the ice. They love that here. Lindros off the boards for Howard Chuck. Under a minute to go in the power play. Howard Chuck down low, in front for a breaking Desjardins. He couldn't control it. Now it's Howard Chuck, a little backhand wraparound attack. Finally, Sean Burr says enough of this, and he'll clear it down the ice.
Philadelphia really cramming the sides, and in game one they did so in the early goings on Darren Pupa. Look for more of that on the post.
Brind'Amour in the left wing. Brind'Amour, and it comes out to Dykhouse. He beats Hammer to the loose puck, and Quinn keeps it in. Big hit by Pat Falloon. You don't see him throw his weight around too much. Sloboda keeps it in the corner for Falloon. Brind'Amour behind the goal. Teams back at 5 aside as crosses out. He almost intercepted that pass.
Sloboda might be able to keep that puck in at the blue line.
7 minutes to go. First period. 1-0 Philadelphia on the goal by Howard Chuck. Less than 2 minutes into play on the power play. Bowman Hammerlick dumps it in, but right on Hextall. Chris Therien for Philadelphia, quickly to Michael Renberg. Renberg so strong, sweeps it into the corner with a man all over it. Trent Platt centering pass picked up by Hammerlick. And a whistle for a two-line pass. 6:30 to go in the first. Howard Chuck second of the playoffs as Philly on top, 1-0. Bodies have been flying. Eric Lindros has been doing it, but it looks like somebody clipped him on the bridge of the nose.
He's a big man. You get up that high. There's a hit behind the net. Gavey looked like he wanted to make contact with Eric. Eric just puts the hands and the forearms up there, and man, guys just roll over. Well, when you're roughly 200, we can't get the exact one, but I think it's right around 240 pounds, 35 to 40 pounds for Eric Lindros. And strong, powerful. Guys on this team are saying if he wants to really hurt somebody, that won't be a problem.
Goes with the shot, right pad save by Pupa. It's almost like he's got a force field around him. Guys just hit him and they bump off. Eric Desjardins, his own zone, clears it off the board to center. Now it's John Druce. Brind'Amour up to Druce. Quickly to Pat Falloon. Falloon, quick little wrist shot, hoping to surprise Pupa, and he almost did. Puck over the glass into the crowd. Time to take a look at the Miller League leaders. What team had more guys in the score sheet than anybody? Game one, the Florida Panthers, who scored 3 goals in 1:17, and all told, 12 players hit the score sheet for the Panthers last night against Boston, 10 for Philadelphia on Tuesday night, followed by Washington in a great comeback victory. Detroit and Colorado and Chicago each had 8 individuals on the score sheet opening night.
Well, Pat Falloon had a goal and 2 helpers, 3 points, 3 shots in game one. Here's an excellent scoring chance right there. Another situation for Philadelphia where you have a right-hand shot on the left side, pulling up into a better scoring lane. That shows me, that save by Pupa shows me that his confidence is there right now because he didn't go down early. He had the patience to stay up and let that puck just hit his pads.
Eric Desjardins paired with Kevin Holler. Shaw, defenseman for Tampa Bay, recovers in his own end. Taken back by Desjardins. Mason play has calmed down after the first couple of moments. Well, Lindros hit from behind, goes down. Gets up slowly, but he does get up. Weaver to the corner. Holler nails him into the boards and Grattan around to Ulano. Igor Ulanov through traffic. Hextall went down, never got to it. Now it's Lindros with Leclerc, 2-on-2. Sent flying by Igor Ulanov. Those two will meet again, I'm sure. And Ulanov gets in it with Leclerc after that hit.
Good choice by Tampa Bay, putting Igor into the lineup after sitting him out for game one, which to me came at a bit of surprise.
Wow, Grattan winds up, takes one on Hextall, held his ground. Bodine clears the center. Roman Hammerlick at his own end. And this one should be no. Icing will be well done. Marion tries to clear for Philadelphia, can't do so. Sean Bodine. Samuelson tied up by Kulak. Centering pass into the slot. Hextall covers up with 4:14 to go in the first. 1-0 Philadelphia.
Welcome back to Philadelphia, where Eric Lindros ran into a freight train right here. These two players have a history. Keep your eye on the right knee of Lindros right there. Hyperextends as he takes a hit from Igor Ulanov. Shaw and Ulanov on a 1-on-2. From that angle, you don't see the contact in the knee. From the other angle, you certainly see it. And that knee hyperextends. That right knee, wow.
And there goes Lindros to the locker room, smashing his stick on the way.
That's not good news. That is not good news.
Years ago in Winnipeg, Ulanov took a run from one end of the ice to the other and put Lindros out of the Philadelphia lineup again. And the Flyers all thought it was a dirty hit from their point of view. Igor Ulanov is not afraid of anybody, and he'll go after you.
Well, that was a hit, though. I mean, that wasn't something where he's going for your jugular. I mean, that was a hit where he might have got a little low, but it looked as clean as it could to me.
Yeah.
Eric's such a big guy.
Dan Quinn. I didn't mean to intimate that was a dirty hit, but there is a history between those two players.
That's terrible. You know, as a player, as an athlete, or anybody, you know when something goes wrong. Eric, he didn't hesitate. He was right off that ice.
We'll await word anxiously. Any word we get from the Flyer locker room. Sean Burr, his play is back on, and the Tampa Bay end chops at it over the glass and into the crowd. And there's a hush over this crowd because they saw Lindros go to the locker room too. He's the big horse, no doubt about it, in the league, along with being the big guy here in Philly.
Oh, they got to be taking a deep breath right now, finding out what exactly it is. Stop it right here. There's right on the knee, right there, on the right side, and his knee comes back. Just comes back a little bit. You see that little hyperextension, that little movement right there. Wow.
Flyers win the face-up. Desjardins. Hooper went out to meet it. Went by him and over the goal. Sean Burr tied up by Michael Renberg. Renberg has replaced Lindros on that line. He and Leclerc and Howard chuck now. Desjardins dumps in behind the Tampa Bay goal. Selivanov over his stick and into the crowd. Draw another whistle with 2:54 to go in the period.
Well, so far in this hockey game, the Flyers lead it by a score of 1-0. Howard Chuck scored early, and they had that emotion, they had that thing going. But I even noticed early on some of those little passes were rolling off the tape. It certainly has not been the same start as what we saw in game one, but I think realistically, you're not going to get that start every single game. Now for the Philadelphia Flyers, the test is patience. You have to be a patient hockey club, rely on your system, and of course, the great team that they are. But for Tampa Bay, I'm impressed with the way they've come out. This is the way Tampa Bay has played all year long. They seem now to be set back into their system, feeling comfortable with this hockey game.
Almost a giveaway to Chris Grattan in the Philadelphia zone. Flyers just managed to clear it. Comes back to Ulanov in the Tampa Bay end. He's paired up with David Shaw. Shaw almost has his pocket picked by Brindable. And the puck again deflected into the crowd. Time for us to remind you, Major League Soccer on ESPN2. The world's top stars take the field in a brand new league. The Kansas City Wiz at the Dallas Burn. World Cup stars Mike Sorber and Frank Pulvis battle Hugo Sanchez. That's tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific time on the Deuce. Major League Soccer. Get your kicks right here on ESPN2.
Well, the Druce line is on the ice now for Terry Murray. Druce, Rod Brindamore, and Pat Falloon. There's what's coming up next in our first intermission here.
And in Maine, we'll have news, and very sobering news out of the nation's heartland about former Nebraska quarterback. All the hockey scores and highlights as well. It's coming up in our first intermission. Balloon to Drew's shot. Saved by Pupa, who does look confident. Brendamore tried to center, but nobody home. And back breaks Ryan Bellows for Tampa Bay. Quickly on the sticker grab, but he couldn't control it. Ice is kind of chippy out there. Warm day in Philadelphia. Brendamore onside, back to Drew. Yulanov broke up that play. Igor Yulanov has been effective tonight for the Lightning. Chris Terrian starts to throw his weight around as he nails Branton. Now it's Pat Balloon, top circle. Shot on Pupa is wide. A loose stick on the ice. Podine into the corner with Brendamore. Brendamore allowed to walk out in front, but Shaw deflects the puck off his stick.
Good work by this line to cycle the puck down low. Create a scoring chance because of that. Whoa, the big foul. Joe Samuelson went down, no call.
Puck back out to center, 1:14 to go in the period. Swoboda back in his own end. Quickly to Sean Podine. Fans on a pass, but still collected by Corkum. Final minute of play, and Peter Klima steaming up the left wing. Klima got a good shot, gets one in on Hextall. After Kuhnau goes for the rebound. Both those boys are out of game one. Put in for more offense tonight. Clears it for Philadelphia, and Petit goes back for it.
Say what you want about Peter Klima, but his individual skills really have always been excellent around the league. He always creates scoring opportunities, and you saw right there, just a one-on-one, but he pulls the puck to the right, goes back high to the far side, and Hextall has to make a good save.
The giveaway deep in the Philadelphia end. Tampa Bay. Cullen is on it with Gratton, but Philadelphia retakes. Dale Howard-Chuck at center, pulls up. The play is ruled onside. In front, Leclerc's in the crease, so he can't get a stick on it legally. Holler couldn't keep it in the zone as we're under 5 seconds to go right now in the period. And the Flyer fans with some applause, but also some concern as Eric Lindros left the ice. Possibly an injury to the Flyer captain. But after one, Howard-Chuck has Philadelphia up 1-0. Kenny Mayne and our intermission coming up in a moment. Because, Darren, their team has a 1-0 lead after one in game two, but sad and a little bit apprehensive because they don't know if or when Eric Lindros will return in this game.
Well, I'm not sure if they realize the implications of that hit in this period. Igor Yulanov, came across the ice. I think Eric Lindros thought it was just a one-on-one with Michel Petit, and instead, Yulanov comes in from the far side, and here's the best angle you see of that knee. Getting hit, the right leg of Yulanov, but that's a very good hit. He came across, that's an old-fashioned hip check, but Eric Lindros, remember, is such a big guy, so the knee's up a little higher as well. It's a 1-on-2, and right after that, when he went down, and you see how hard he went down to the ice, but the initial contact is the key on that right knee of Eric Lindros. Looks like it did hyperextend a little bit, but his reaction automatically, he went off immediately. And here's the reaction of Eric Lindros. He knew exactly what was wrong. He's had plenty of knee problems in the past, and this is very, very bad news, of course, not speculating what's happened, but as soon as we do know, we'll let you know.
Obviously. And earlier in the hockey game, the Flyers again on the power play, again inside the first 2 minutes of play, got on the board. Dale Howard-Chuck gave them a 1-0 lead.
Well, the Philadelphia Flyers were scrambling inside their own zone. They didn't look like they had confidence with the puck, and in fact, it was fumbled around a little bit. But eventually, the puck right here, Leclerc drops it back. Zamner makes the right play. He got hauled down by Eric Lindros. That's the reason for the failed clearing attempt. And Dale Howard-Chuck lets that fly, that one-timer, through traffic. But again, Lindros might have got away with something here because I think Zamner thought he had two guys open. He had Michael Anderson right there, and he had Holder. Instead, it goes right between the seam, right on the tape to Howard-Chuck, and he just let that one fly.
A tenuous one-goal lead for Philadelphia. Lindros is not out on the ice. He's not on the ice warming up. Neither is Joel Otto. We'll be back to the Spectrum in a moment. Leaded 1-0. If you're tuning in now for Major League Soccer, the game between Kansas City and Dallas, it'll be coming your way a little bit later tonight at 11 Eastern Time. That's 8 on the West Coast. Major League Soccer, Kansas City and Dallas. That's at 11, not 8:30 Eastern Time. Set for the start of the second period. Paul Jaworski drops the puck. The Flyers lead it 1-0, and they'll get the opening face-off. Holler behind his own goal. John Druce quickly into the Tampa Bay end, trying to get it to Brindamore. He's broken up in the slot. Sean Burke clears it to center for Tampa Bay for Selivanov. Up in the circle, goes well high of the goal, though, and all the way out to center.
He let that fly. Selivanov actually had a fairly good first period. No offensive chances, but at least he got involved in the contest. This line was good. Cullen with Sean Burr and Selivanov.
Saw behind his own goal. Tries to clear it. Cannot. Flyers are on it in the slot. John Druce into the corner to Balloon. Balloon throws it through the crease. Picked on by Ulanov. Igor Ulanov, a central figure in this hockey game tonight. His hit on Eric Lindros. Shaw dumps into the corner. Shell Sanderson behind the goal, off the boards to Druce. Druce gets a big hit from Michel Petit. And a hit behind the goal, and Shell Sanderson's going to be called for interference. Let's check in with Al Morganti on the Eric Lindros situation.
Thanks, Tom. Well, it's rumors central here. At least it was a few minutes ago. Eric Lindros left the ice. Everybody waiting in the hallway. What's wrong with him? The initial report is he has a bruised left kneecap, and he will try to return to this game. Of course, when Lindros goes down, it's a major operation down here, almost literally. A lot of orthopedic surgeons, a couple of them were in the locker room. Lindros is still in his skates. He's going to try to return, as I said. We'll keep you up to date on that. Now, if the injury was when he was hit by Igor Ulanov, kind of backs in here with what looks like a hip check, the kind Leo Boivin used to throw in the old days. There is some history to these two players. He hit him when Ulanov was with Winnipeg, missed a few games, and a lot of people think one of the reasons Farwell was fired, Russ Farwell as GM, because he didn't complain enough about that hit. You might also note that Lindros wears as a protective device braces on both knees, just in case. He's very protective of those knees, that he doesn't have to have surgery. That may have helped in this case. Once again, he should return. We're trying to get an update on the Joe Lotto situation. In the meantime, they're two centers down, two pretty good centers. Guys?
All right, Al, thanks for that information. You want to find out something in NHL, you go to the man Morganti.
Excellent job, Al Morganti. Thanks so much. Didn't mean to make you work in this contest, but great job, great update. And it's funny that the report was a left bruised kneecap. Well, that replay clearly showed that the left knee had no contact whatsoever, but it was the right knee. But that's no surprise, and for good reason. Players try to disguise the injuries. But that's good news that he's going to try to return in this game.
Extall down as Roman Hammerlich just lofted one into the slot area. Bodies ended up on top of the puck, and that'll call for another face-off. You know, injuries, especially at playoff time, are like state secrets. You get a lot of disinformation, and rightfully so. You can understand it.
I know, media people, especially us here, we're trying to relay something, but I agree with the teams. I, for one, completely agree with them because, first of all, you want to talk about an injury that's real serious. There's a mentality that takes place. You don't want to give any secrets. If it's the right leg, you say the left elbow or the left knee. That's just the way it goes. It's the way it has been. It's the way it always will be. There's not much honesty when it comes to injuries. Ron Hextall right here is looking for a call right around the crease, and he's pointing towards the top of the crease to the referee Dvorsky. He thought there might have been some interference right there. I got to be honest with you. I did not see what happened. I just saw him go down.
Face-off as Tampa Bay has the extra skater now. For the next 152 to the right, the face-off to the right of Hextall. Klima and Gavey now. Peter Klima. Gavey pressured it very nicely by Desjardins, who just takes it away from the youngster. Roman Hammerlich back behind his own goal now. Gavey and Weimer join Hammerlich out there along with Peter Klima and Brian Bellow. Klima overskates at center. Goes back into his own end, despite the fact he really wasn't being pressured. Long pass over the stick of Weimer, and the Flyers able easily to ice it. Trent back behind the goal. Klima beats him to it. Flyers shorthanded. Druce having to kill off this penalty. Black uses his body, and Druce gathers a loose puck at center. Tampa Bay not threatening so far, but we're going to have a two-man advantage, a charging call against Philadelphia. Let's check in now with our studio and Kenny Mayne.
Hey, thanks, Tom. Toronto and St. Louis here with Grant Fuhrer. John Casey's the last line of defense for St. Louis, and Toronto's going after him. Doug Gilmour to Matt Sundin. Matt Sundin back of the net. It's 3-1.
3-1 Toronto as they try and even up that series. And Grant Fuhr, another key injury if it's serious in this playoff season.
Sure, this is a late call by the official. At that point, the arm wasn't up. But then with Cullen staying down, Peter Svoboda went off for a charge. And he didn't like it at all, and neither did his Philadelphia Flyer teammates.
It'll be a two-man advantage now for Tampa Bay for the next 23 seconds. Chance for Tampa Bay to pull even in this hockey game.
Well, there's no question about that. This is the golden opportunity, the window of opportunity that you're really looking for through the course of a game. When you're a patient hockey club, you have to wait for your opportunities. You can't press it. They're not an offensively gifted hockey club. In fact, during the regular season, they allowed 10 more goals than they scored. They were a -10 in that ratio, goals for, goals against. Now is the time. They played a good first period. They rebounded from a disastrous first game loss, and now they've got a sniff at it, and a 5-on-3 advantage for Tampa Bay.
Grant will take the face-off with Brindamore. 23 seconds on the two-man advantage. Comes to Hextall, and that's bad news for the attacking team. He plays catch with Darren Poopa on the other end of the ice.
Well, again, Tampa Bay really guilty of silly dump-ins. Ron Hextall's the best that's ever played the game at firing the puck out of the zone, and they continue to put it at him.
You stand corrected. 40 seconds, two-man advantage for Tampa Bay. Has a long penalty clock here. So the Lightning with ample opportunity with the 5-on-3. Gratton, Hammerler, Michel Petit on the left point, top of the circle. Selivanov, his Petit shot was well wide. One-timer. Hextall put the right pad out there, deflected. Now Cullen, cross ice, and Hextall slides from right to left to Rob Selivanov.
Oh, Selivanov had a golden opportunity, a terrific pass from his centerman, John Cullen. Such a gifted playmaker. Cullen, a right-hand shot, looking towards the point. Looking, and then goes against the grain, through the seam, right on the tape. But what a brilliant save by Hextall, going from his right to his left. Cullen looking to the point. Nope. Going to go across the grain. And Hextall made a real good save, then smothered the rebound. Chris Gratton was right in front of him. What a battle they had in front, too. Eric Desjardins was all over Gratton. Selivanov was off to the side. They have an advantage because that line's also a regular strength line. But Ron Hextall comes up with his best game and his most timely game of the series.
And guess who's coming back? Eric Lindros has joined the Flyer bench, and it gets a standing ovation from the crowd here at the Spectrum. Well, that's good news for hockey fans, but especially if you're a Philadelphia hockey fan. You want to see the Stars play this time of year.
These fans love this guy, and for good reason. He's going to be the leader here for many, many years, and the appreciation given to Eric Lindros. This is great.
He's the reason, in my mind, that new building was built about 300 yards from here.
You still have to be cautiously optimistic. Just because you walk down a plank, you walk down from the locker room to the bench area, it doesn't mean you're healthy and fit. He's got to give this thing a test.
Still a few seconds with a two-man advantage for Tampa Bay. Peter Klima, lots of room to shoot. Passes instead to Bellows, and he was covered by Brindamore. Hammerlich, marked by Brindamore. Weimer behind the Flyer goal. It's now a 5-on-4 as Samuelson is out of the box. Ryan Bellows puts it on Hextall. Rebound in the slot, and Bellows can't control it. Less than 50 seconds left. On the power play, the Flyers can't clear the zone. Shot from the point, hits traffic in front. Hammerlich, one-timer for Klima. Down goes Hextall. Klima gets it back. One-timer, Hammerlich well wide, and Hextall covers up for another face-off. The Spectrum crowd roars its approval.
Got ourselves a heck of a hockey game here right now. Tampa Bay showed a lot of confidence on that power play. But this is appreciation for the penalty killing and for their hero here, Ron Hextall. Good movement there by the two buddies, Hammerlich and Klima. One-timer's wide, but Brian Bellows is right on the doorstep. Before that, Bellows trying to control the puck along the boards. Bellows been good. Quick little shot from the short side. Good save by Hextall. And then the Tampa Bay Lightning continue to have the puck. But Bellows has got his hands full, and so do the Lightning now. Lindros back on the ice to kill the remaining power play for Tampa Bay.
On his power play, still 33 seconds left. Randy Mitten, linesman, handing a word with Lindros, who's going to take the draw with Gratton. An emotional lift Let's see how long it lasts. Grattan is tossed out in favor of Cullen. Lindros won the faceoff. Carrion in the corner. Lindros throwing his weight around on Cullen. Lightning keep it in the zone. Holder in front. Out is Hextall. Got a piece of it with the right arm. Cullen and another one. Tire breaking his stick this time is Sullivan. Lightning maintained possession, but Samuelson, he can't clear it. It never got out. Or did it?
That was offside, yeah.
It was offside. All right, with 8 seconds to go in the power
Definitely, Bernie Minton blew it down. He pointed at it, he blew it down, and it was so noisy in here. I don't. Bill Holder, in fairness to Bill, he didn't hear it. I don't think the Philadelphia Flyers heard it.
I didn't hear it either. Well, let's go down to Al Morganti for another update. Al?
Thank you, Tom. Well, as you could tell with the roar of the crowd, Eric Lindros did indeed return with the kind of the bruise on his left knee, limped out of the locker room, but he should be okay. The bad news is Joel Otto is not coming back tonight. A sprained left knee. In this series, maybe they get by with Otto, but they did get Otto as depth at center, especially looking at the Rangers, where it could maybe match up with Messier and get Lindros free. It is a sprained left knee, as I see. He will not be back tonight. Guys?
All right, so I guess half a loaf is better than none. But
that's terrible news, though. That is terrible news. And anytime you're injured in the knees, you know, one thing they both have in common, they're both very tall guys. Oh, Lindros went right after Ulanov, right off the hop. Went right to him and certainly made his presence felt there.
Ulanov also hit linesman Randy Mitten right in the backside with a shot. And Randy Mitten is still feeling the effects of that. Tampa Bay, deep in the Philadelphia end. Penalty has been killed, of course. That's going to be a big plus for Philadelphia's momentum. John Druce around the boards. Picked up, though, by Cullen of Tampa Bay. Haller can't control. Sean Bird to Sullivanov, but Desjardins had it covered. Howard shot off the boards. Not out. David Shaw sends it in front, but Haller is there. John Druce pokes ahead. Dale Howard gets to it in the corner. Centering pass is bodied off by Tampa Bay and a whistle. It is 1-0 Philadelphia.
Yeah, John Druce has been very, very good for the Philadelphia Flyers. He had 2 assists in the opening game. Keep your eye on 26 White here again. Ulanov and Druce going into the boards. Oh, gee, that was really odd. I mean, it's hard to tell from that angle what happened. But obviously, they got their legs. Their legs came together, went into the boards awkwardly. Now, Lindros just came on the ice, takes a face-off, goes right at Ulanov. Now, even though he didn't get a whole lot of mustard on that hit right there, you get the idea what exactly Eric Lindros was doing, and it won't stop there. I'm sure every one of the Philadelphia Flyers are going to make a point of going over to Ulanov. One of the things you have to be careful of right now is distractions. This is a big distraction now, and Philadelphia could get themselves in some jeopardy if that's all they're focusing on hitting Big Igor.
Well,
it's okay to hit him, and that's okay. You make your presence felt, make sure you hammer him, make sure you hit him and eliminate him. But if you end up on the bad side in the penalty box and give Tampa Bay power plays, they've already got a lot of confidence, it seems, in this hockey game.
Let's take a look at our Head and Shoulders storyline as Lindros sits in the box. Home team's winning game 1 over the last 4 years, 22-9. So heavily weighted for the home clubs. Lindros playing, but with a bruised left kneecap. Joel Otto out for the rest of the night, sprained left knee. Howard Chuck, his second goal of the series. 27th career playoff goal on the power play. That's why Philly has a 1-0 lead. But now add John Druce to that growing list of wounded for the Philadelphia Flyers. Howard Chuck, though, he has been quite a performer for Bob Clark, who's on the phone up in the box.
I'm sure he's trying to find out exactly the extent of the injury towards John Druce and the injury to Joel Otto. The Bobby Clark Trophy is awarded annually to the most valuable player of the Philadelphia Flyers, and for the 3rd straight year, Eric Lindros was awarded that trophy following the regular season. Bobby Clark's one of the greats that's ever played the game in laced-up skates.
Hall of Famer, and he is just an icon here in the city of Philadelphia. What a great job he's done since rejoining the Philadelphia staff for the Florida Panthers.
How do you like what he's going to do next year with the financial backing on this hockey club? Don't be surprised if he goes out and searches for a big ace free agent, looks for something like that. They're going to spend the money, that's for sure.
Michel Petit getting into it with John Leclerc, and I believe Petit has gone off to the penalty box, and he may not be alone. Dvorsky now sees that maybe this thing might come unraveled if he doesn't take control of this hockey game. Emotions running very high.
It all stems from one thing. Finally, the blood is boiling and the emotions are high. It has been a physical series, and now it's getting to be a chippy series, and the messages are being sent right now. John Leclerc taking the puck through the neutral zone, trying to get the puck up to Rod Brind'Amour. That was a good hit by Michel Petit along the boards.
Yep.
Then Leclerc, he's hanging on to him. Actually, Leclerc was the one that hung on to him first and had his hands around the neck of Michel Petit.
Time for us as they sort out the penalties to remind you tomorrow on the Deuce. It'll be game 2, Detroit and Winnipeg. Detroit had their hands full for 2 periods last night before overwhelming the Jets. What will happen tomorrow? You'll see it from Joe Louis at 7:30 Eastern on the Deuce. And on ESPN tomorrow night, game 2 of the Caps and Penguins. The Caps are up to their old tricks, winning game 1 in Pittsburgh last night, coming from behind in the 3rd period to do it. Yager and Lemieux and company will try and turn the tables and even the series. Meanwhile, here at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, Leclerc has joined Lindros in the penalty box for Philadelphia. That's a lot of talent off the ice. Meanwhile, Michel Petit is in there for Tampa Bay, but he has some company as well. Power play for the Tampa Bay Lightning, I believe, for Philadelphia. Washed out as a 2-minute power play for Philadelphia. Brind'Amour at center. Now here is Michael Renberg with a headed team. Renberg pulls up. Leclerc and Petit each go 2 minutes for roughing. Cale Anderson tries to clear it out of the Tampa Bay end and does. Renberg is on it at center. Brind'Amour over to Pat Falloon, who was onside, but Kukla very cool and calm, goes down to make the save. And some more emotional play in the corner. Another Flyer is down. Dvorsky's arm is up.
Brind'Amour's down. Stick came up high. Brind'Amour went down quickly after his shot went far and wide on Darren Pupa.
Corey Cross is being told to sit down for Tampa Bay. The chippiness is just unbelievable here in the 2nd period, and you could almost predict it after Ulanov's hit on Lindros. Even though it was a clean hit, the Flyers had to be emotionally stirred up after that.
Pat Falloon takes the first one after giving a pass, and Corey Cross's arm came up hard and heavy. I know there's a big discrepancy in height and weight there, but Corey Cross has got to keep those hands down. That's the original penalty. You saw the referee's hand up. Then Brind'Amour, as he got the puck on the far side, stick of Corey Cross came up again. Corey Cross should get 4. 2 for roughing and 2 for high sticking, but I think he's getting 2 for roughing, 2 for cross-checking.
Whatever, he's got a double minor. Corey Cross does, and he's put his team in a big pickle. 6 minutes and 4 seconds, the time of those 2 minor penalties to Corey Cross. The Flyers taking some time to talk things over at the bench, and Dvorsky says, come on guys, you got a game to play.
Well, the first one was an ill-advised penalty on Pat Falloon, because first of all, you're killing a penalty. Falloon had already released the puck, so as a defenseman or a forward, when you're killing a power play against you, once the puck is released, there's no use going over there and eliminating the man. You're wasting energy. Get back into position. And instead, Cross gave him the big forearm shiver and then came back and got the stick up high on Brind'Amour.
All right, a minute 2 now of a 5-on-3 advantage for the Flyers, who lead it 1-0 and have a golden opportunity, as Tampa Bay did a few minutes ago. Now Brind'Amour in the corner setting up. Here comes Howard Chuck, top of the circle. Crowd wants him to shoot. He does. It hits traffic in front. Desjardins in the slot, down low, one-timer, fanning on it was Pat Falloon. Brind'Amour at the doorstep. He's in the crease, and the puck cleared to center.
Fine things are going Tampa Bay's way now. All those little plays that happened in game 1, those little wee passes through feet, around the crease, little give and goes, they're not happening now.
23 seconds on the 2-man advantage, but even after that ends, there'll be a lot more than 2 minutes left on the 5-on-4. Holder fans on a clearing pass, but Cale Anderson does it, and Hextall is back for it. Desjardins over to Brind'Amour. Little touch pass to the corner. Brind'Amour over to Howard Chuck. Now 5-on-4 for Philadelphia for the next 2:52. Centering pass in front, off the stick of Falloon, and Bill Holder dumps it down the ice.
This would be absolutely enormous for the Tampa Bay Lightning if they'd be able to kill off this power play at 5-on-3 for a minute and 2, and as you said, for nearly 3 minutes of 5-on-4, you can gain as much from a penalty kill as you can from scoring a power play goal. A lot of emotion and effort goes into penalty killing, and you almost get back to basics, Tom, and that's exactly what Tampa Bay's been all about all year. Basic hard work.
Well, in Philadelphia, when they were 2 men short, the work of Hextall got this crowd worked into a frenzy. Here's Corkum. Platt goes to the net. Trent Platt never got to him as Hammerlick made the interception and pays for it. Trent Platt in the circle. Little wrist shot. Never got in on Puka, and the Lightning cleared again.
Well, Roman Hammerlick complained about not getting enough ice time. Well, he's getting it now, and he's killing penalties. So it was something that he complained about, not getting enough time in shorthanded situations.
Bob Corkum tries to pitch it into the Tampa Bay zone and never gets there. In the blue now, as Corkum goes his way into David Shaw.
Great hit by Platt. Wow. Oh, then he ran over Zamaner right in the center ice area.
No penalty call. Play continues. Flyers behind the Tampa Bay goal. Dan Quinn gets it out. Gets it back from Dykhouse. Trying to go down low to Furthermore. Is intercepted. Now it's Dykhouse top of the circle. And a giveaway, and again it's Hammerlick hammering it down the ice. Nearing the 1 minute mark left in this Philadelphia power play, and 11 minutes to go in the period. Balloon has it get off his stick. The passes just aren't connecting out for Philadelphia, allowing Tampa Bay to clear it.
Well, they knew it wasn't going to be as easy as it was in Game 1. They expected Tampa Bay to play their game. And they are. And it's important for Philadelphia to regain some of that momentum here on home ice. 1-0 lead midway through the hockey game.
Desjardins just whacks at it. And as Holder touches up, icing on Philadelphia with the extra man. Let's check in with Al Morganti.
Thanks, Tommy. Well, you're getting a first-hand look at why the team that wins the Cup, sometimes the last team with most guys standing. Already 2 guys out with bad knees. You saw Eric Lindros there. He's back with the bruise. Now, John Druce is in the locker room. His right knee is being examined. They're trying to determine whether he should come back tonight or as a precautionary measure stay out. But you're seeing it here, why the 8 weeks take such a toll and why it's a war of attrition to win the Stanley Cup, guys.
Yeah, good comment, Al. You're absolutely right. You got to be lucky. Good hit right there. Definitely by Klatt on Shaw, who had been on the ice for some time. Then Shaw trying to get across the ice, but Eric Lindros is back. Hey, Eric Lindros, and good report from Al early on talking about the kneecap of Eric Lindros. He seems to be flying out there. He seems to be pushing off well, handling the puck well. You see the hits. 14-12 tonight. Tampa Bay has come back in that department. And instead of taking them all night long, they're starting to give a few.
Both these teams will have a lot of bumps and bruises after tonight, and they'll need the extra day of rest, which they'll get. Game 3 will not be till Sunday in Tampa Bay. Lindros with a pass into the slot to Leclerc. Leclerc's shot is deflected wide.
What's that mean?
Tampa Bay having much more success than early on in this game, clearing the puck out of their own zone.
Only 10 seconds left on this power play, Tom. This is a major, major penalty kill for Tampa Bay.
Barry Cross standing, ready to come out of the box, and here he comes. And Cross almost picks up a loose puck at center. Svoboda got back to it. 1-0 Philadelphia. Goal at 1:48 of the first period by Dale Hawerchuk on the power play has given the Flyers that lead. Svoboda back in his own zone. Bob Corkum takes a hit from Bratton. Down goes Hammerlick. He's separated from his stick, and down goes Petit in the corner. And Platt has really thrown his weight around. That draws a whistle. 1-0 Philadelphia.
Hey, we'll get back to our game in a second. First, the Canadiens and the Rangers. Canadiens going shorthanded once more, but they're busting 3-on-1. Saku Koivu over to Lyle Odoline. His second career playoff goal. It's 3-0.
I'll tell you what, Darren and Kenny, I didn't like New York in that series coming in. I like him even less now.
This is a play by John Leclerc just moments ago. I mean, there was no call on this play. That was a blatant roughing call right there on Roman Hammerlick. He drove him down to the ice. In a situation like this, some of the big guns for Philadelphia are getting really preoccupied with some of the little stuff. The best way for John LeClair to send a message to Ulanov and the Tampa Bay Lightning is to fire in a couple of quick goals.
Bodies bang to the left of Hextall now, who hasn't seen much action the last few moments in the Philadelphia end with that power play. John Cullen tries to take it away from Bob Corkum. Another penalty going to be called by Dvorsky. And that'll stop play with the score still. Philadelphia 1 and Tampa Bay 0.
From behind.
Shel Samuelson in the penalty box called as we went to break. It'll give Tampa Bay another power play. The Lightning were complaining about Samuelson in game 1. And he was getting away with stuff.
Yeah, they were. They felt that in every situation that he would be called for a penalty if they were to call it. In the meantime, Al Morganti downstairs. You got another update for us, Al?
Well, Darren, the Druce will not be loose tonight. John Druce, this is the third Flyer to go down with a knee injury. Eric Lindros did return. John Druce officially out with a sprained left knee. Initially, I was told by a doctor right side, but these are the playoffs. Sometimes they mix up their sides, guys.
Might be right side anyway. Maybe he figured out how he told you the truth and had better renege.
It's officially sprained left knee, not to return tonight.
He's got a bad wheel. We know that.
One of them.
One of them.
That's terrible. That is just terrible news. And John Druce, of course, it relies on his skating too. He goes to the holes, finds the open ice well, and has played awfully well for Terry Murray and the Philadelphia Flyers. And it's a good thing that they traded for even more depth, because now they've got to go to the hole and find these players. In order to win championships, you have to have heroes every single night, and you have to have depth. There's no question about that.
Play back on for Tampa Bay. Their power play. Chance to even the score here. All the injuries and all the penalties and stuff. We've only had that one goal by Howard Chuck in the first 2 minutes of play. The goaltenders really haven't had much sustained action at either end of the ice in this second period.
Aaron Gavey and Sean Podine. Good hit here right around the penalty box. That's an excellent hit. Oh, a tough situation, though, right there for Aaron Gavey. Boy, he has been solid. He's playing with a lot of poise. First ever Stanley Cup playoff action.
Ryan Bellows in the corner on this Tampa Bay Lightning power play. One-timer Klima through traffic, deflected off a holler, never got in on Hextall, and Brind'Amour is able to clear it.
Well, the one thing Hammerlick and Peter Klima do have is a little bit of chemistry and sensing one another, but they're both utilizing that one-timer. Neither player afraid to shoot the puck.
Bottom line is, most of those one-timer shots tonight have not been on net. Tampa Bay dumps it and chases again. Bellows. He's cut off by Chris Terrian. Svoboda into the corner. Gavey and Brind'Amour. Rod Brind'Amour doing yeoman work, killing penalties tonight, and clears the zone again. Brind'Amour, I think, one of the real unsung stars in this Philadelphia team. Peter Klima. Under a minute to go on the power play. Gratton, pretty passing play to Salavano. Oh, the one-timer. Hammerlick held blatantly by Podine. Nothing called there. And the Flyers. Bobby Corkum on a breakaway. Save. Put the rebound. He couldn't get a stick on it. Gets it out to Svoboda. Svoboda trying to dump in. Hit the referee, Dvorsky, and allows Tampa Bay to skate to center for Cullen to dump it in.
Well, a blatant hold on behalf of the Philadelphia Flyers results in a breakaway chance by Bob Corkum. And another good save there by Darren Pupa, finding his groove in the second game after being pulled in game 1.
Terrian couldn't clear it. Michel Petit, cross ice, shot, save, Hextall. As the shot by Bill Holder found its mark. Hextall got his body in the way. And the power play ends for Tampa Bay. Samuelson comes out of the box. Again, bodies bang, and again, Lindros goes down, but he's right back up. Holder for Tampa Bay, backhand behind the goal line. Zabar can't handle it. Samiter gives it up to Holland. John LeClair dumps in. Pupa handles it easily, leaves it for his defense. LeClair, boy, somebody has really ticked him off. He's going after everybody. He went after Petit again. Here he goes after Holder.
Good hit.
And another hit. The crowd loves it. John LeClair is playing like a man possessed. Here's LeClair at center. Michael Renberg, top of the circle. Shot deflects off the leg of Holder, and traffic goes into Pupa. Petit and LeClair and John LeClair. is down. So is Darren Pupa. This is really becoming a war of attrition, and Leclerc is in some pain.
Jumping. He went flying in after Michael Renberg let this one fly. The shot never gets through. Deflected wide. Keep your eye on the net right here. Oh, right leg.
Oh.
Right leg of John Leclerc barreling towards the net. Uncontrolled emotion and penetration. These guys aren't stopping for anything. This is unbelievable.
Well, I'll tell you what. Philadelphia looks so powerful, so fantastic in game one. Injuries have just taken the talent level of this team way down tonight.
They're going hell-bent for leather on every single situation, and sometimes you have to maybe pace yourself and pick your spots. That was a good hit right there, and really this crowd really got rocking after this hit on Michel Petit. The defensemen of Tampa Bay continue to be hit and pounded every single time. Not very much hold-up when those big guys come strangling through the blue line. Roman Hammerlick right here. This is where that breakaway was set up, but Sean Poudin held him. No doubt about that.
Absolutely.
He held him. And because of that, here's what happens. Philadelphia Flyers, quick transition. Chris Therien, a terrific pass right on the mark. And you've got Klatt going. Bob Corpum comes back, trying to go low to the, looks like he was going low to the glove side. Either that or maybe trying to go between the legs. Heads up the whole way. And trying to go low there to the glove side. And Darren Pupa was right there. That's a different Darren Pupa than what we saw in game one. He was too passive in game one.
Meanwhile, Leclerc is right kneecap, right on the post.
No, it looks like it was the left one from that angle. Yeah.
Okay. One of those knees.
And it's a good darn thing that these nets aren't stuck into the ice like they were several years ago. It's a good thing in that situation that the net had some give.
Well, time to put Al Morganti to work again. I'm sure he'll be bird-dogging that story down below. Meanwhile, the Flyers' Chris Therien, wrist shot in on Pupa. Teams remain at 5 aside. Samuelson is hauled down at center ice. They won't be 5 aside now. Jason Weimer got big Shell Samuelson off balance, and Weimer just looks to the skies and heads to the penalty box. He gave him the hook right here, got it around the right arm, and Samuelson may have embellished it just a tad.
Well, Samuelson's been a target, I'm sure, of many criticism from Tampa Bay. I'm sure towards the officials, keep your eye on Samuelson. So Weimer goes off, and Philadelphia will go on their 4th power play.
Let's have another injury update on John Leclerc, this time from Al Morganti.
Thanks, Tommy. Don't want to trivialize it by saying another knee injury. John Leclerc came off. There's nothing official yet. When he did come off, he was helped by a teammate, somebody else on the other side, and he was in agony as he came off the ice. His left leg up in the air, couldn't put any weight on it. A lot of times initially there's some pain. However, this one looked the worst of all, and boy, what a loss that would be for the Flyers, guys.
It was, the way he went down was awkward at first glance, and Darren Pupa went down as well. It looked like the right side, but then you saw that left leg got caught underneath Al. And, you know, I've not, of course, been around the Philadelphia Flyers all year long, but ever since that hit on Eric Lindros, John Leclerc, he had one mission, and that's to hit everybody, get in the face of every one of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He got off his game.
Darren, have you ever seen a procession of injuries to key star players in one game like this before?
Not a chance. I've never, ever have I seen that. And that's...
I don't think that man, Bob Clark, has seen it either, and he's working that gum big time.
Let's go down the list. Joel Otto, sprained knee. Eric Lindros hurt his left knee, as they say. It looked to us like it was his right knee. John Druce, left knee. And now we've got John Leclerc. These aren't fringe players we're talking about.
No, absolutely not. Leclerc, 51 goals in the regular season. John Druce, his line was the best on the ice in game number 1, arguably. The Flyers are really going to have to suck it up now. Well, the NFL Draft is coming your way Saturday on ESPN and ESPN2. Chris Berman, Joe Theismann, Craig James will host it. New York Jets have the first pick. It'll be worth it just to tune in and check out the gallery in New York City for that one. Noon to 9 on ESPN Saturday, 11 to 8 on the Deuce, 11 a.m. on ESPN Sunday morning. On the Deuce, the draft coverage is Saturday at 7 Eastern and Sunday at 1 p.m. So between ESPN and ESPN2, we will have wall-to-wall coverage of the NFL Draft, beginning Saturday at noon Eastern Time from New York City. From Philadelphia, it's Stanley Cup Hockey on ESPN2 tonight. Tom Mees and Darren Pang. Game 2, Tampa Bay, Philadelphia. Flyers still lead at 1-zip, but their roster has been severely depleted by injury tonight. Philadelphia still with a power play for a minute 16. Counting. The power play now has Falloon and Therrien and Dykhouse and Brindamore and Quinn. John LeClaire, always a key figure on the Philadelphia power play unit. Falloon was in, but he was in offside. That draws the whistle with 4:49 to go in the period.
Right now, with all the injuries we were just talking about, Otto such a factor as well in game one with a tip-in power play goal. But the Lindros line being hurt, and we've already had Michael Renberg with that injury that he has had, and he missed game one because of the birth of their first baby. Of course, he's going to be getting married this off-season, but now it's up to Rod Brindamore. Now it's up to the guys like Danny Quinn and Trent Klatt, and we saw Pat Falloon earlier. These players now really have to step it up. I mean, this is the time, and this is playoff hockey. You don't have the same heroes every single night. This is why you add depth during the regular season and character players and players that have been in this situation before.
You're going to have 2 news conferences at the end of this game. One to deal with the game, and Terry Murray will probably have to bring out a doctor to deal with all the injuries. Not that they'll get much information.
Another paycheck for Al Morgani.
Yeah. No comment. Hammerlick behind the Tampa Bay goal tries to clear it off the stick of Zamaner. Philadelphia still on the power play for 50 seconds. Desjardins skates it to center. Michael Renberg takes a hard hit from Petit. She's missing to get under people's skin and to deliver the body blows, and he's done it. Now here comes Ron Zamaner. He's excellent short-handed, but this time loses control of the puck. Michael Renberg with a head of steam at the Tampa blue line. Touch pass Lindros. Howard Chuck can't control. Back to Lindros. Shot save. Pupa. What a pass by Howard Chuck. Now Svoboda. Desjardins the save. Pupa the rebound. Kept in by Desjardins. Flyers with a power play for another 10 seconds. Lindros in the corner. Seems to have good mobility. Svoboda takes the shot. Save. Pupa. Svoboda could not get to the rebound in time. The penalty is over. And Pupa covers up with Michael Renberg on his left side.
Go here by the Philadelphia Flyers as they end this power play opportunity. They're now 1 for 6 with the man advantage. Watch this little play by Dale Howardchuk. First using the feet, then right on the tape as he puts the puck between Hammerlick and Eric Lindros. Lindros right here. You see how close he is, how wide open he is. Didn't get it up. The key there is to try to get it up underneath the crossbar. That's one of the strengths of Darren Pupa is those legs, and he has got those legs going in this game. That was a good save.
Sean Burr at center for Tampa Bay. Cullen tied up by Trent Klatt. Old players for Philadelphia will be key, as Darren alluded to, with all the injuries. Bruce and Otto and John LeClaire. Otto and LeClaire, not only does it take a lot of goal-scoring ability out of your lineup, but a lot of physical presence, too. That's something that Philadelphia's relied on. And a whistle behind the play as the goal comes off the mooring. Let's remind you, more hockey on ESPN on Saturday. Note the starting time, 7:30 Eastern. It's the only game in town. It's the only game in the Stanley Cup playoffs that night. Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. We'll have it for you. Joe Sakic, the Colorado Avalanche, battle Kirk McLean and the Vancouver Canucks from GM Place in Vancouver. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. We take a look at the Western Conference brackets. Detroit and Winnipeg, Colorado, Vancouver. Of course, Colorado winning that first game 2 nights ago at McNichols Arena. Chicago, Calgary. The Hawks got off to a good start, as did the Blues in Toronto, and they're in another tight one tonight.
Well, the key for any team, obviously, when you have to start on the road, you have a game plan. It's not very, Terry Crisp writes down a lot of things. The key here is steal one, split the series, and try to regain home ice advantage. And right now, Tampa Bay has weathered the storm early, and they're into their mode right now. They're into their game.
We have another injury update from the playoffs, Darren, and it's not good news for St. Louis. Grant Fuhr, torn ACL in the right knee. He is out for the season. Out for the season. Go on. John Casey is now the man in St. Louis.
That's awful. I've experienced a torn anterior cruciate ligament. Grant Fuhr has been brilliant. In fact, Wayne Gretzky said after game 1, he might be sparked by the fact he wasn't on that World Cup roster. So obviously, there's no question that is an absolutely terrible injury. And he's been no horse all year. It's not like they were given and taken here. He was the main guy, obviously set records for games played and starts.
Well, John Casey now becomes the #1 goaltender for Mike Keenan of the Blues, who are down a game and down a goal in game 2 so far in Toronto, or rather up a game, but down a goal in game 2. Here are the Flyers, and Hawerchuk was at the doorstep, but Renberg couldn't get him the puck.
What a play defensively by the youngster, Corey Cross, sliding, getting that big body on the ice and blocked that pass from Renberg.
Dale Hawerchuk steaming at center. Dumps it into the corner as Hammerlick got up on him, and Flyers go for a manpower change. The 2-minute mark left to play here in the second. Still only 1-0 Philadelphia. Aaron Gavey has it taken away by Brindamore. Dykhouse off the boards for Svoboda. I think the Flyers, those that are still healthy, are going to need time to regroup emotionally after all this physical action and players leaving the ice we've seen in the second period. Svoboda can't clear the zone. Aaron Gavey gets there. Now it's Brindamore. Ian Falloon at center. He crisscrosses the line. Dykhouse puts a shot in on Pupa, who makes the grab with his glove hand. Coming up in just a few moments, the new Dodge intermission report. Kenny Mayne and some sobering news from the Heartland concerning a former Nebraska quarterback. You'll have that story along with the Leafs and Blues battle. You'll see highlights, if you want to call them that, of Grant Fuhr going out for the season, and the Canadians continue to give the Rangers fits in New York. All that coming up with Kenny Mayne on the new Dodge intermission report.
Well, Eric Lindros, good news here. He seems to be recovering very, very well from that hit early on in this game. Like many of his teammates, he talked this morning about expecting Tampa Bay to come out better. The one thing you get from the Philadelphia Flyers is that experience from last year. They're not happy to be here. They're a team on a mission, and you can sense that with this club. Very confident hockey club. Their hands are full right now, though.
Absolutely. Well, the manpower's been diminished, and Tampa Bay is playing a lot better. Noticeably in goal, Pupa, who seems very relaxed tonight.
And again, he's getting more help, though, defensively. He was hung out to dry, as was Jeff Reese, who replaced Darren Pupa in Game 1. There were more pretty goals in that game, in the second part of that game, than I've seen in a long time in one single game. Darren Pupa's a resilient guy. He's 3-7 lifetime in postseason play. The knock before this series was he can get it done in the regular season, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I say that because I just don't feel that's always fair. I mean, I think given the circumstances, I mean, he's been a good goalie. Higher than that. He's been a terrific goalie in his NHL career, and this year exemplified that, what he's all about. But now's the time to put it together. And I felt early on in this hockey game, he wasn't overcommitting. He was patient, and he wasn't as passive as he was in the first game.
Lindros and Burr, the face-off to the right of Hextall, and Sean Burr being lectured now by Randy Mitten. Carrying in the corner, Philadelphia. Comes back behind the goal, Shel Samuelson. Final minute of play in the second period. Lindros runs headlong into Igor Ulanov. Hello. Ulanov goes down this time.
That was another good hit, though.
Yep. Nothing dirty about it. Ulanov had the helmet knocked off from that hit. That's he with the puck. And a whistle for a two-line pass. And let's take another visit with Al Morganti. Al?
Thank you, Tommy. Well, at least this time the report is not a knee, but it is the left side of the body. Just talked to one of the Flyers doctors. John LeClaire has a sprained left ankle, will not return tonight. They don't know any further than that, but he's definitely out of the lineup tonight. Everything on the left side with the Flyers tonight, and LeClaire not going to come back. They're hoping ready for the next game. Guys?
Wow, thanks, Al. Here's the hit again. Lindros. Good head-on collision. Right here, Lindros coming up through the blue line. Sean Burr gave him a whack as well. That might have disrupted Lindros's process a little bit, because as soon as that was done, Ulanov read the play and jumped right into him. Took away the neutral zone. That's been a key for Tampa Bay all year long. And Ulanov, boy, when you look back on it, he's been a big, obviously a big presence in this game, but he seems to have given the Tampa Bay Lightning a lift because he moves the puck well, plays with an edge, and has been taking the body on the best players of the Philadelphia Flyers.
And frankly, I was surprised that Ulanov was not in the lineup.
Yeah, so was I. He's played real well for Tampa Bay since coming over from the Blackhawks.
And Rico Ciccone trade. Philadelphia intercepts a clearing pass with 14 seconds to go in the period. Flyers trying to center the puck onto the stick of Pratt. They can't get it to him. Now here's Trent Platt, 7 seconds to go. Hits traffic in front. That traffic is Podine. And this will about do it for the second period. Podine and Hammerlin get the sticks up. John Cullen gets a right elbow from Podine, and that may draw a penalty. We'll have to wait and see. As the referee and the linesman try and separate the combatants and get them peaceably to the locker rooms, tempers are flaring in a very physical second period. Kenny Mayne is standing by in our studios with the New Dodge Intermission Report, all the hockey scores and highlights, and other sports news of the day. Darren Pupin, Tampa Bay, just within a goal here in Philly.
Amazing. And it started off in this hockey game in the first period when Eric Lindros was barreling through the neutral zone. The good news is Eric Lindros came back to a thunderous applause here in Philadelphia, going back to the first period, 1-on-2. Wow, Igor Yulanov comes over and makes the hit. They said it was a left kneecap. It looked like a right knee. Nonetheless, Eric Lindros came back. That's the good news. Keep your eye on John Druce, one common denominator. Number 5, Yulanov. That's 2 injuries for Igor Yulanov in this game. Renberg has the shot, this in the second period. Keep your eye on the post. That's John LeClaire. He goes whipping into the net, and he sprains an ankle. Will not return in this hockey game. Then we had Joel Otto earlier on in this game as well. A sprained left knee. Look at the injuries to the key players of this hockey club. It has been absolutely amazing.
And it's catching other key injuries around the National Hockey League tonight. We see that Grant Fuhr's out for the year. We now hear that Mike Richter re-injured his groin.
That's amazing. Mike Richter has been going well. It looked like that groin was in good shape. You know, Grant Fuhr had hurt that knee later in the season, but before the playoffs, and now a torn ACL. Terrible news.
Well, the Tampa Bay Lightning, let's not forget, they're right where they want to be. Perhaps only 1 goal down going into the third period of play. This is a game they could definitely steal.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And I think what has to happen in the Philadelphia locker room, if I can go to that for a second, is Terry Murray has to really get this team refocused right now, because they seem to be getting caught up in all the extracurricular activities. Instead of putting a dagger into the backs of the Tampa Bay Lightning by scoring a couple of goals, they're getting caught in all the physical stuff, and it hasn't paid dividends.
The boos in the background from the Philadelphia faithful as they see Tampa Bay skate onto the ice. And they have to be on edge here in the city of brotherly love. The favorite Flyers lead it by the period 3 of Game 2. This Tampa Bay-Philadelphia series. Flyers looking to go up 2-0. The only goal of the game, though, was scored at 1:48 of the first period unassisted.
The Philadelphia Flyers on the board early, just as they did in Game 1. LeClaire moving the puck, trying to go back to Lindros. Now watch the hook by Lindros, causes Amner to go down. One-timer by Dale Hawerchuk. That goal coming a minute 48 seconds in. Hawerchuk's second goal of the postseason. Hawerchuk makes no mistake here. The puck comes through. There's a couple of Tampa Bay Lightning right there, but because Amner gets hooked down, it goes between the seams. And Dale Hawerchuk let her fly. Meanwhile, through 2 periods of play here in Philadelphia, 1-0. Shots on goal 15-9. Scoring chances, though, 10-3 in favor of Philadelphia. Face-offs a lot closer. Keep in mind, think of the guys that are injured. Joel Otto takes a lot of key face-offs for Philadelphia. Lindros. Anyway, power plays 0 for 4 and 1 for 6 for Philadelphia. Philadelphia had a 5-on-3 for a minute and 2 seconds and a 5-on-4 for nearly 3. Here's the new guys, Tommy.
Well,
this is the key.
With all the hurts now Philadelphia has, the likes of Hawerchuk, Falloon, Platt, and Druce really become important. But remember, John Druce is out for the rest of this game, and who knows how long besides Platt, Falloon, and Hawerchuk.
Well, Russ Romanek played in the last game because Michael Renberg's fiancée was delivering their baby. And so Romanek, who came at 7 o'clock, he was the first guy here.
Yeah.
So that's whose jersey got hung up. So Russ Romanek played. He's one of the players on the taxi squad for Philadelphia. Sean Antosky, another one of those players. So they've got to get themselves mentally ready. That's why you've always got to stay prepared. The role players, the support guys, the taxi players, you've got to keep a game face on all the time.
Look for Antosky, I think, to be ready and dressed to play Sunday afternoon in Tampa Bay. That bears watching. Play is on here early in the third. David Shaw for the Tampa Bay Lightning. You got to love their position, down only 1-0 going into the third period on the road. First game was no contest, 7-3 Philly, and an icing call early on Tampa Bay.
Terry Crisp has to be fairly pleased with what has transpired in this hockey game. Shots on goal have been down. The odd man chances, I think this is the biggest key here. They're 0-6-3. Wow, at Philadelphia.
Never won in this building.
Big bagel right there. And you have to win at one point, obviously, but you know, in game 1, Philly had 6 odd man rushes, and they scored 2 goals on the rush. In this game, Philly has only had 2. So that's a key right there. That means the Tampa Bay's playing their system and always having that third man up high, not getting caught with 3 men in deep.
Puck deep in the Tampa Bay zone. Sean Podine in the corner looking to center, but nobody there. Dan Quinn. One-timer for Bob Corkin, but Ulanov helped tie up that shot, deflecting it well wide. Now Sean Burr with some room at center, but Dykhouse returns the favor on Burr and closes that play down. Sean Burr has had a couple of nice hits on Dykhouse in this series. Dykhouse, a loose puck in the Philadelphia end. Howard Chuck. Turned over to Petit to Ulanov. Chris Gratton trying to get it on the stick of Jason Weaver. He couldn't control it, and Holler takes him out. Gets Howard Chuck in the back, stays in the Philadelphia zone. With the teammates calling Ducky. Ducky, that's Howard Chuck's nickname. And the Flyers loft it down the ice as Hammerlick touches up there. Called pricing. Let's check in with Kenny Mayne.
Hey, the scoring goes out in Colorado like there's no tomorrow. 2-2 game, and away we go. It's Sandis Ozolnish. He's got the puck, and he's got himself a goal, and Colorado has a 3-2 lead.
Sandis Ozolnish with the goal. Peter Forsberg, he's one of the Colorado Avalanche we'll see Saturday night on ESPN.
What a brilliant player he is, no doubt about that. He scored a key goal in Game 1, that little backhand hoister that they had to review. And they did review that. No review in Dale Hawerchuk's first goal of this game, second goal of the 1996 postseason. And that's the lone goal in this hockey, and it is standing up right now.
You get the feeling, though, that won't be enough for either side before this game is over. Face-off won by Bellows. Puts a quick one in on Hextall, but it was wide to the stick side. Now a shot from the point. Hextall didn't see it. Deflected to the corner. Michel Petit dumps into the corner. Off the boards for Desjardins. Lightning doing a nice job forechecking in the Philadelphia zone early here in the third. Holler held up from behind by Chris Gratton. Al Lindros chips it in, but on the stick of Hammerlick.
What's up, Eric?
Desjardins dumps in behind the Tampa Bay goal. Crowd in quiet anticipation, maybe a bit nervous here at the Spectrum. Michel Petit gathers it in, avoids the stick of Lindros, and gives one up high towards Lindros as the two cross in front of the Flyer bench.
I've seen Philadelphia collapse right there. Lindros came right back down. They had four guys in the slot. There's no chance for a Tampa Bay Lightning good scoring chance in front of Hextall.
Hammerlick tries to clear, cannot. Joe Samuelson sends it along the boards. Chris Therien down low to Clapp. He can't control it. Here's Gavey. Gavey top of the circle off the blocker of Hextall, who saw it all the way. And quickly Ron Brindamore with a head of steam. Chris Therien. Backhands into the zone. Knocked back out by Holder. And the puck played ahead with a hand, and that'll draw the whistle. 1-0 Flyers.
Sub goalie John Casey after Grant Fuhr got hurt. It was 3-1, but here come the Blues right back. Brian Noonan, Murray Barron. Ooh, give and go, 3-3.
Well, the St. Louis Blues showing a lot of resiliency. Remember, the Blues won Game 1 in Toronto 3-1. And they'll go home for the next two at Kiel Center. That's going to be maybe the most interesting and most competitive series of any in the first round.
Selivanov ended the regular season on such a high note offensively. In his last 4 games in the regular season, 4 goals in that time, 31 tallies and 52 points are his career highs. He's capable of that, but I found even in the first period of this game, the one thing about guys that are offensive minded and they get some chances during the regular season is in the playoffs, obviously the checking's a little bit more. There's fewer calls, so guys are holding on to your stick and giving you a shot in the, on the side and what have you. But I thought he was pesky in the opening 20 minutes of play, trying to get in the face of Ron Hextall, playing a feistier game than what I'd seen in the regular season.
Face-off win by Rod Brindamore for Philadelphia. Brindamore and Lindros help get the puck out of the zone. 16.5 minutes to go in regulation. 1-0 Philadelphia. Sean Burr skates into the Tampa Bay end. Back to Holder at the point. And the shot by Selivanov, but Hextall the save. Off that save, the Flyers flying at center. Brindamore, back pass intercepted. Cullen and Selivanov, and the trailer is crossed and a shot deflected high over the goal. At the Saloon goes to the corner. He's 1-on-2. Zameter takes it away. Cullen the shot save. Rebound. Solomonov. He scores. Solomonov has tied his hockey game at 1.
Just what Tampa Bay was looking for. Enough patience through the neutral zone, playing their system and take advantage right here. Cycling the puck down low. In game 1, it was the Tampa Bay Lightning that gave the puck up. Right now, the Philadelphia Flyers, Cullen's first shot stopped, rebound. Where did Solomonov come from? He just snuck out from the corner, whips around, right here, low stick. Excellent shot, left-hand shot going low to the stick side. And a terrific play by Solomonov.
First career goal for Solomonov, 4 minutes and 2 seconds into the third period. So now, the battle has been joined as Tampa Bay ties her up with under 16 minutes to play in regulation. Former Flyer property, Alexander Solomonov led Tampa Bay with 31 goals in the regular season. First playoff goal for him. There's Lindros at center. Rob Zameter. Let's see if the Lightning are two-step after that goal. Hextall clears by himself to center. Aaron passed, but Renberg couldn't take advantage of it. Now on the right side, Paul Yzervard. He's got a great shot, passes it up, gives it over to Mikhail Anderson. David Shaw from the point, through traffic. Hextall is down, never got in on it. And he'll cover up with Paul Yzervard right to his left and another face-off.
What an enormous goal, obviously, by Solomonov to get Tampa Bay back in this game, 1-1. This is the kind of hockey they played all year long. Plenty of patience. Of course, they're getting some breaks in this game as well. Shots on goal are low. They've only had 11 shots on goal as compared to the 15 by the Philadelphia Flyers. But again, with all the key injuries to the Philadelphia Flyers, I thought Philly got way off their game plan. But here's what starts this whole play. The hit could have been an elbow on Solomonov, but it's the hit, the physical contact, and that's the kind of feistiness I was talking about with Solomonov. And see what happens. They keep the puck in deep. John Cullen's having a heck of a game as well. Played well in game 1, and you see the benefits there. They work the puck down low, create the turnover, and Solomonov scores untouched in the slot.
Face off to the left of Hextall. Michel Petit at the left point. Dumps into the corner. Jason Weaver and Terrian tie each other up. Now it's Corkum and Bellows. Puck has been in the Philadelphia zone for the great majority of this third period. Over to Hammerlick. Around the boards. Over the stick of Hextall. Flyers looking to clear. They do, but nobody at center to get it into the Tampa Bay end. Fans trying to get their hometown heroes more involved. Michel Petit, who's played a solid game for Tampa Bay. Into the corner, but Samuelson is there for Philly. They on in front of the Flyer bench. Still, they battle for it, and Tampa Bay wins that battle. Hammerlick comes up with it. Howard Chuck trying to get it away from Hammerlick. Now it's Renberg at center. Michael Renberg just dumps into the Tampa Bay zone, but dumps it over the glass and into the crowd.
Peter Klima back in the lineup for a couple of weeks anyway. They were saying he had a tender knee and at one point an unhealthy scratch. Then is he healthy? Is he not healthy? Well, 50 points in 85 playoff games. Tom, you were just talking about a fond memory at Boston Garden when Peter Klima, a member of the Edmonton Oilers, scored that overtime game-winning goal. So Terry Crisp elects to put his third leading scorer in the regular season back in the lineup. Peter Klima has had a couple of chances, played the point on the power play. Not a whole lot of even strength, but more time with the man advantage.
That goal by Klima when he's with Edmonton was game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals against the Boston Bruins in triple overtime. Hadn't played the whole game. Gets off the bench and wins it. Another puck over the glass and into the crowd. Another face-off with 13:54 to go and regulation tied at 1. 2 nights ago, we were just marking time to the end of the contest. All the injuries that Philadelphia has suffered and the improved play of Tampa Bay, it's a nail-biter here tonight.
Eric Lindros had 3 shots and was a +2 in game 1. So far in this game, he's had 2 shots on goal. And he is pointless in this one, but 10 points in 6 games this year against Tampa Bay. I'm just glad that he's back at it. I for one, went through a couple of terrible knee injuries, and I'm just one of a whole lot of people that go through injuries. It's part of the game, and it's unfortunate. He just seems to get knocked on the knees so much, and I just think it's because of his height.
Yeah.
And he barrels through at 150 miles an hour everywhere he goes. There was a time when he had met up with Gordie Howe, and Gordie had given him some advice early last year during the lockout shortened season, and the advice was, pick your spots, big fella. You're going to be around an awful long time. He just has so much passion. His teammates say that, I mean, he would go anybody. I mean, if you want him to drop the mitts, they've almost got to contain him and say, we need you on the ice. But he has a great passion for the game of hockey, and obviously an amazing bit of strength to go with great hands and wheels.
And if you tuned in late, the Flyers are outmanned here tonight, or shorthanded anyway. Druce is out of the lineup. LeClaire is out of the lineup. Joanno out of the lineup. All were healthy when the game started tonight, but they are gone. Lindros was hurt earlier, and he is the only one of that group to return. The Flyers bench has plenty of room for the competitors to sit down with 3 bodies in the locker room.
Tough now for Terry Murray, the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. He's got to juggle up some lines. So the lap shift, we saw Danny Quinn, who was playing with Klatt and Corkum. Now he's playing with Sean Podine and Klatt as his line mate, so he's got to do some shuffling. The one advantage he has, and he's fortunate that Michael Renberg is healthy enough to be playing in this hockey game, because now he still has a main line right there, Lindros, Hawerchuk, and Michael Renberg.
Face off deep in the Tampa Bay end. Lindros will take it with Sean Burr, and Burr wins it to the corner. Puck hits Hawerchuk, the exit pass. Bounds behind the Tampa Bay goal. Cullen not out. Desjardins for the point. Deflection. Try in front by Renberg, and that went just wide. Darren Puppa has not had much work of late. John Cullen goes between the defense with a shot. Hextall saw it all the way, and play continues with Holler. Holler up to a breaking Lindros in the left wing. He's behind the defense. Pass to the slot. Hawerchuk, and Puppa with a big save, and he crawls on the rebound. 12:59 left in regulation, tied at 1.
By Eric Lindros, and his line mate was a direct result of a perfect outlet pass by Kevin Holler. Watch this pass. Oh! Right between the legs of Ulanov, and Lindros goes down again after it, but good save by Puppa on Dale Hawerchuk's little backhand. See behind the play? That's Michael Renberg. He was smoked, just hammered by David Shaw, and he was looking for a penalty, no doubt about that. Didn't get the call.
Renberg remains on the bench. The Flyers right in front of Puppa again. They storm the crease area, but no shot is taken. And the puck cleared again into the crowd. You're going to have a lot of faceoffs as we come down the stretch here in a 1-1 game, third period, Stanley Cup playoffs, and Darren Puppa all of a sudden starting to see some action.
Well, making the timely saves that is obviously necessary at this juncture of the hockey game. 1-1 game right now.
Brindamore and Chris Gratton to face off to the right of Puppa. Brindamore wins it again. Falloon. His shot hits Bellows right up close. Broken stick on the ice. Not sure who it belongs to. Here comes Bellows for Tampa Bay. Takes the shot through a screen on a stick save. Hextall. Al Samuelson, his big reach, cannot clear the puck out of the zone. Puck is in the corner down to the left of Hextall, behind the goal for Terrier. Brindamore puts it into the Tampa Bay corner, round the boards. Tampa Bay clears it. Will not be icing. And the Lightning get a line change. Corey Cross at center, tries to dump back in, but Dykhouse intercepted. Bounces one in on Cooper. Svoboda has it at center. Man's a bit dismayed that Peter Svoboda didn't keep the puck in his zone. Corey Cross. Healed up in and Hextall play. He and Svoboda get a little bit mixed up there with their communication. Podine has it hop over his stick. Sean Podine with a burst of speed. Holder has to hold him up. Takes him into the boards. No penalty called. And
you know, that's the kind of stuff at the beginning of the year that was called all the time.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, a forechecker coming in, being held up by a defenseman.
Plays on.
But again, there's been a ton of that anyway, so.
There's Howard-Chuck. Pursuit of Ulanov. Ulanov around the boards. Stays Chardin over skates. And here's Mikhail Anderson of Tampa Bay. Got a lot of room. Takes the shot, but a good closing effort by Kevin Haller to deflect the shot high up into the crowd.
The one big question coming into this game certainly was how the Tampa Bay Lightning would respond. I mean, you got your number one goalie that was yanked in the second period of game one. You get hammered in that contest. Then, amongst other things, you got Brian Bradley, their leading scorer, not in the lineup because of a bad knee, and he wants to rest that knee because he feels that if he can't skate, he's not playing his game. Then you got the Roman Hamrlik thing where not getting enough ice time, maybe some bad advice from his dad who was his agent. But nonetheless, players in that locker room this morning are looking around, shaking their heads, saying this is not the time for individual things. Well, Darren Pupa has been a common denominator all year long, and it remains that strength right now. He has had a strong performance. He's bounced back. Don't forget, this is a team earlier in January that got trounced 10-0 and came back in their next game and won it 5-0. That's resilience.
Yeah, they've had 2 beatings this year, 10-0. Each time they bounce back with superior efforts. And you know that the Thunderdome will be rocking on Sunday afternoon for Game 3. This game, I think, is imperative for Philadelphia, especially with all the injuries they suffered in Game 2 tonight on the Deuce. Again, the Flyers check. Shel Samuelson goes behind his own goal. Terry goes awry, but the Flyers are fortunate to recover, and here is Lindros. He's double-teamed up the right wing. Gets by Ulanov. Lindros says Howard-Chuck in front. Lindros with a backhander, but it dribbled off his stick. It's not on the net. Sabater falls down on his own end, but still clears the puck with his left hand. Now it's Lindros. Shot off the leg of Ulanov. Going to become a premier matchup in this series. Ulanov pounding Eric Lindros all over the ice. Let's check in now for Stanley Cup update and Kenny Mayne.
All right, Rangers trying to keep from going down 0-2 at home, and here they go, down 3-1. Ulf Samuelsson, he gets it across to Sergio Mometo. He gets his second goal of the game. Montreal still up 3-2.
All right, Kenny, the Rangers aren't going down quietly if they do go down tonight.
Yeah, and in this game right here, Ulanov and Eric Lindros have had some good battles. Eric Lindros wins this one. Sheer strength and determination getting through Ulanov along the boards, and that creates a scoring chance. Little head fake there, trying to go to the inside, went to the outside, and bullies himself right around Ulanov. But Eric Lindros looks like a man on a mission. He took that puck with a whole lot of confidence. He knows exactly how important this game is with the injuries that have happened, and Tom, you mentioned it, but the injuries that have gone on in this hockey game, you've got to go to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is going to be rocking. You know they're trying to get 28,000 people in that building, and it's going to create a whole different atmosphere than the one for the Philadelphia Flyers, obviously right here on home ice in a very intimidating building. But when you go on the road, you try to steal one. Doesn't matter how you do it, and right now Tampa Bay has put themselves in a position to win a hockey game. That's all you can ask.
Terry Crisp, once upon a time, was a player for the Flyers when they stole one at Boston Garden in the spring of 1974, and that's why they won the Stanley Cup that year in the 6th game here on Spectrum Ice. Here is Hamrlik. Fakes once, takes a shot at Hextall, who appeared to be a little bit unnerved by that, and Hextall got out for the rebound. That was a real rocket in on Ron Hextall. Now Trent Platt. Behind the net, Pope. Selovanov, the goal scorer for the Lightning tonight. He'll dump in, but only for a change, and Dynkhouse goes back for the Flyers.
No, Tom, again, he was right in front of Ron Hextall. He's been the one main guy for Tampa Bay that's put his face in there and has gotten involved.
A whistle before Falloon can get a shot away, and we're going to have a face-off outside the Tampa Bay zone. Whistle by the linesman. Puck played with a hand, I believe.
Right off the face-off, the Tampa Bay Lightning creating some opportunities, and I thought I heard a big grunt from goaltender Ron Hextall as that shot went through his midsection. Sean Burr, excellent face-off win against Lindros. Then they're both tied up right there. Good little battle. See, Lindros can ill afford to let Sean Burr go towards the net. Good shot by Hamrlik right through traffic. Oh, you see his face?
Yes.
That was where the grunt came in. I'm going to call that the midsection. Is where he took that puck.
Yeah, he's hurting right now. I'm sure he'll recover, but he's hurting right now.
Hard shot through a little bit of traffic. He grunted, but he was able to maintain his composure. and then clear the puck.
And back on to the Tampa Bay end, and Corey Cross is going to be called for icing. Yes, he will be, as Holler touches up. And the faceoffs become all important. This one will be in the Tampa Bay end with 8:57 left in regulation. Howard-Check for Philadelphia, Selovanov for Tampa. That's why we're tied at 1. Stanley Cup action on the Deuce tomorrow will be at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Winnipeg Jets, who gave Detroit all they wanted for 2 periods last night. Detroit leads that series 1 game to none. That's at 7:30 tomorrow. Then on ESPN tomorrow night, our cameras will be at the Igloo in Pittsburgh as the Capitals try and go up 2 games to none on Yager, Lemieux, and the Penguins. 7:30 Eastern for that game as well. Man your clickers for Stanley Cup action tomorrow on the Deuce and on ESPN.
You don't get a charge out of home ice advantage. Listen to these great fans right here in Philadelphia. Getting the home team pumped up.
Standing ovation. One thing I like about this building is they don't do it with any electronic stimulus.
No sign that tells you to light it up.
Eric Desjardins, center. He is hounded very nicely by Jason Weimer. That forces a giveaway. Weimer now behind the Philadelphia goal. Out to Holder at the point. Backhands through traffic. Shot by Bellows goes wide. Now it's Lindros trying to clear. Can't do it. Hammerlick's shot is blocked, and the Flyers have a 3-on-2 possibly as Cross goes down. Howard's up. A lot of options. Tries to center it, and look at Holder. Grab the puck with his left hand. No penalty call as Baldaworski was looking right at it.
Put his hand over and then pushed it to his teammate inside your own zone. That's a legal play as long as you don't grab that sucker and toss it.
Steven. Just wide to the stick side. Puck comes all the way down on Pupa. Under 8 minutes to go in regulation. Peter Kleeman, a tie game late. I've seen it with my own eyes. He's very dangerous. Keep that name in mind. After Kulak gives the puck away to Dan Quinn, but Tampa Bay knocks it right back in. Philadelphia trying to clear it to center. Sean Podine had his legs going but didn't have the puck. Now gets it to Dan Quinn. Quinn trying to center to Corkum. Nothing doing there. Now Kulak up to Peter Klima. Just bumps in for a line change.
See, in this situation, we'll never see a third man from Tampa Bay getting caught in deep. In that situation, John Cullen, you've always got one designated player on each line that makes sure he's the high man back.
There's Cullen, allowed to skate in this time. Cullen, Sean Burr chops at it. No real shot there. And the other way is Svoboda. Sean Burr bumps him off the puck. Cullen at center ice. Cullen chips in, but ends up putting it into the crowd, and we'll have a face-off. Roman Hamrlik, the subject of a lot of attention before the game tonight, number 44 for Tampa Bay.
Well, it was a circumstance where Roman Hamrlik came out. You know, one of the things about this situation is he said this today. Liked Wayne Cashman working with the defenseman on the bench. That has changed. And he feels Crispy just yells at him. Well, God, good news and bad news, partner. There's a lot of coaches out there that yell at you. One thing about Terry Crispy, he's emotional, he yells. But I tell you, 20 minutes later, he's patting you on the back when he's doing a good thing. There's a whole heck of a lot of worse guys out there that can yell at you and make things happen.
You played for something.
There's no doubt.
Hamrlik with a bullet on Hextall. He can't control the rebound. Hextall looked a bit off balance there. Maybe a bit surprised. Hamrlik takes a hit from Pat Falloon, and Svoboda behind the Flyer goal. Around the boards, Falloon. Pat Falloon looking to center, nobody there, so he puts a bad angle shot on Pupo, who has the post bucket. During the 6-minute mark now, regulation time, Holler took it out, put it back in. That's offside. Let's check in with Kenny Mayne.
All right, Rangers were down 3-0 to the Canadiens. Ulf Samuelsson, who's known for beating people up, assisted on one goal to make it 3-2. Gets the loose puck, makes it 3-3. New York's alive at home.
I'll tell you, two teams that have lost their starting goalie tonight have really put in good efforts. Fury's gone for the year. St. Louis has come back to tie Toronto. Richter has another groin problem. The Rangers have come back to tie Montreal in that game. Take a look at the Eastern brackets, and Ron Hextall adjusting the old strap with the help of the trainer.
He's getting that all fixed up, adjusting the straps. Meanwhile, just moments ago, Lindros on the faceoff. Chris Gratton has been a physical presence in this hockey game. Faceoff was lost. Lindros goes right to the net. Look at two Tampa Bay Lightning all over him. Corey Cross trying to take out the man. It's been a physical game. Lindros has taken some. In the last game, he dominated. He hammered everybody in sight. In this game, he has been taking some from the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Bill Holder dumps in for Tampa Bay. Bellows off the boards, but well wide. Corey Cross intercepted by Eric Desjardins. And behind the play, Kevin Haller going to get whistled for a penalty, knocking down Chris Gratton. Dvorsky's going to call obstruction interference here, and Haller does not agree.
Gratton has been a physical presence. He's been feisty. Nothing happened much offensively for the youngster, but he has been involved. And in front of the net, coming from Ron Hextall's left, Kevin Haller gets nailed for interference. On the right of your screen, there's no puck around. There's no action around. Right away, he let go of his stick, looked at the referee. But there was no indecisiveness on behalf of Dvorsky, the referee. And now we got a situation. Tampa Bay going on the power play so far in this hockey game. They are 0 for 4. In fact, they've only had 2 even strength chances in this entire game, and they scored on one of them. Selvanov's goal came at even strength. The key here, watch for Hextall to become involved again, playing the puck. And Tampa Bay can't be silly like they were in the first game, dumping the puck right at Ron Hextall.
And they've done a good job of that, trying to improve on not doing that tonight. And they were very well aware of that, as Hextall handles the puck better than any goalie in the National Hockey League. Face-off, top of the circle, right of Hextall. Brind'Amour taking another big face-off with Gratton. And Gratton wins this one. Hammerlick tees her up, takes the shot, and Hextall out of his crease to get a piece of that. That was labeled. Hammerlick again, deflected just wide. Comes out to Klima at the point. Let it go! Svoboda fires desperately trying to clear, can't do it. Finally dribbles to center for Hammerlick. Selvanovich with Brind'Amour out, doing another good job of penalty killing. Cullen, Selvanovich, Hammerlick, Klima, and Chris Gratton, the power play unit for Terry Crisp. Sean Podine takes his time, lifts it high in the air. Bellows dumps to the right corner, but Podine is there. Oh, a little back pass, almost gave it away. It is taken away by Tampa Bay. Selvanovich. Bellows to the left of Hextall. Hammerlick at the point. Cross ice. One-timer. Klima. Hextall down doing the old snow angel routine and laying on top of that puck.
Well, that's the setup that you're looking for. If you're the offensive team on the power play, you wait, you stay patient, you move the puck around. Brian Bellows working the puck to Hammerlick. Hammerlick over to the right-handed Klima. Good one-time shot through traffic right here. And the rebound doesn't sneak underneath the pads. And Hextall makes a good save. This is earlier. What a blast by Hammerlick. It actually tapped the stick and it went end over end. And Ron Hextall got his left shoulder on that blast. And you see how far Hextall was out challenging the shooter. He did so because there was no traffic in front. So he had a lane that he could come out and challenge the shot. And Hextall makes a real good save. Good puck move by Tampa Bay, though.
Lindros and Aaron Gaby the face-off. Gaby wins it. Tampa Bay doing a good job of the man advantage. Still a minute to go in that. Shot through traffic. Deflects wide. Gaby on it. Bellows in the corner and hold everything. Dvorsky blowing the whistle again, and they're going to even this one up.
You betcha.
Aaron Gaby being told to take a rest.
Well, we've seen this time and again. And so the Philadelphia Flyers escape after Tampa Bay had good pressure with the man advantage. Gaby getting plenty of quality ice time right here. He has the puck and he's fending off Samuelson.
That can't be it, can it?
Yeah, that's all she wrote right there.
Oh my
Quickly
goodness.
closed his hand on the stick for a split second. Let go of it. And he gets called for holding the stick. So once the penalty to Haller expires, well, then Philadelphia will go on the man advantage. Now Terry Crisp has been around hockey an awful long time. I'm sure he's seen worse than that. But those are things you have to fight through. And you can't get all caught up in what the referee did or how he did it. Can't get caught up in all the injuries that are happening. You still have to go on the ice and somehow maintain your focus and play the game of hockey.
Players will tell you they're looking for consistency. That call rather inconsistent with others we've seen tonight, but it stands, of course, and it's 4-on-4 for the next few seconds. Eventually, Philadelphia will have a power play in about 40 seconds from now. Chris Therien in the corner. He and Bellows tie each other up. A lot of open ice out there for the moment. Weimer is headed off with the pass. Shell Samuelson moves into Bellows. Weimer is on it again. Hammerlick can't control. Gets it over to Michel Petit. The shot save. Hextall. And nobody there for the rebound. Hammerlick then gathered it in, and Philadelphia finally clears. And here they come 2-on-1. Quinn and Clark. Quinn shot. It deflects wide. Still 4-on-4. Bellows to Hammerlick. His shot hits the stick of Chris Terrien. And the Flyers will skate unimpeded to center again. Another 2-on-1. Hodin and Klatt. Klatt has a go off his stick. And he blew an excellent scoring opportunity.
Goodness. 2 great chances for Philadelphia. 2 great chances.
Could come back to haunt him.
Not a shot on goal on either one of them.
Lindros again. Power play for Philadelphia now. 5-on-4. Puck hits the linesman. Randy Mitten trying his best to get out of the way. Amazing that doesn't happen more often. Michael Renberg. Lots of open ice. Skates in. There's a shot taken by Howard Chuck. They got a piece of that. Lindros behind the net goes between his legs. Now it's Svoboda. Philadelphia power play continues. We're tied at 1 with 3:05 in regulation. Gale Anderson and Desjardins go for it. Desjardins keeps it in the corner. Philadelphia has Lindros in front. They can't get the puck to him. And Tampa Bay ties it up. Now for a Stanley Cup update, it's Kenny May.
All right, we just showed you New York tying up the Canadiens, but Montreal gets it right back. Mark Recchi, he's behind the net, and he'll kick it out. Vincent Damphousse, his second of the night. It's 4-3 Montreal, just like that.
Oh, Vincent Damphousse is a wrecking crew for Montreal in that series.
Here's the situation. You see right there, Tampa Bay getting a man caught up high. Odd man break coming back, and Klatt couldn't handle the pass. Rob Zaminer never stopped moving his feet. You remember the first goal in game 1 where Dale Howardchuk scored, and Zaminer, that was his man. He stopped moving the feet, glided. Howardchuk scored on that play. He barreled down. Philadelphia 5 odd man rushes compared to nada for the Tampa Bay Lightning. As I said before, Tampa Bay has only had 2 even strength scoring chances this entire game. Tampa Bay out shooting Philly 20-18.
Plays out of the Tampa Bay zone. Still the power play. A shot from a bad angle. Comes out on the stick of Rob Zaminer. Long one. And on Hextall, who just lets it go by. It ends up on the back of the mesh, and Hextall just knocks it off. And the penalty is about to expire. It has expired. We're back to 5-on-5. Lindros in the slot, double team. Lindros has taken a regular shift since.
That's great. That is great news.
And icing on Tampa Bay. Back in a moment.
Welcome back to South Philadelphia, where we have a beauty here. Different story from game 1, where the Flyers trounced the Tampa Bay Lightning. I guess Tampa Bay has learned something here. Ron Hextall, though, in the meantime, has come up with a couple of real good saves. He looks very confident, challenging the shooter.
Brindamore wins the face-off again to Shell Samuelson in the corner. Big Shell Samuelson tied up by Weimer. It looks like a mutton chest situation there in the corner. Don't mean to laugh, but Weimer had his helmet taken off. And Samuelson still going at it away from the play. And Dvorsky blows the whistle. They're both going to go. Weimer and Samuelson just wouldn't give it up. And they'll both sit.
That's not a bad call right there by the official. Not a bad call whatsoever. Samuelson wasn't going to give up, and Weimer, who just turned 20 on April 14th, has really shown a lot of maturity on the ice in tough situations. You think of the Tampa Bay Lightning in the future, and they've got some players that are learning an invaluable lesson here in postseason play. Going to go a long way. Battle along the board, certainly. In the meantime, this game was 1-0 in favor of Philadelphia before Selivanov, who, don't forget, last year spent time to end the year in the IHL in Atlanta and in Chicago with the Independent Wolves. Well, here's the goal that tied the game. Selivanov comes out from behind the play after John Cullen had a good scoring chance. Zamner also got an assist on that goal. 4:02 into the third period. I think Selivanov's been excellent this entire game, though. Not only that, but he's been physical. He's taken out the man. He's getting in front of Ron Hextall. And then he caps it off with a goal.
Brindamore, another face-off win to Dykhouse. Pupa out of the crease, and nobody there for the rebound. Boy, Brindamore has come up huge on the face-offs for Philadelphia tonight. Here's Brindamore again at center. Little pass ahead to Podine. He's in alone, though. No help. Hammerlick as we're under 2 minutes to go in regulation time. John Cullen. Crisscrossing. Peter Svoboda. 2-on-2. Now the Lightning get an extra body out there. Svoboda in a bit deep. His pass easily intercepted by Shaw.
He had nowhere to go, Tom. Nowhere to go whatsoever. The only place to keep it in deep because there was good coverage inside the blue line for Tampa Bay.
1:20 in regulation as you see the clock. In the upper left-hand part of your screen. The bottom line keeps you informed of all the other scores around hockey. And everywhere else, it's Klima at center. Peter Klima has the puck stripped from him, and the Flyers get it back to center. Dale Howard-Chuck, the lone goal scorer tonight for Philly. And taking no chances with Lindros cruising in, Darren Pupa will have a face-off with 56 seconds left.
They've fought, they've clawed their way into this hockey game. They've tied the game up at 1. And Terry Crisp has got his troops thinking the same way. As I said before, we were talking about Terry being an emotional guy. He's a real amiable person. I don't think there's any doubt about that. In fact, his wife says simply, he's a nice guy. Terry Crisp is a nice guy, and that's the facts, but he's an intense person as well. He won 2 Stanley Cups, of course, as a player, won a Stanley Cup as the head coach of the Calgary Flames in 1989. Was then let go by Cliff Fletcher. They remain good friends. There is speculation at the end of this year that Terry would be interested and Toronto would be interested in having a guy like Terry Crisp. He's a free agent with no compensation at the end of this year. And he's looking for some answers right now from the referee, Dvorsky. Tampa Bay wanted a late change, did not get it. Now Eric Lindros taking the face-off. Tampa Bay has dominated late in this game, and the number one reason is taking nothing away from Lindros, but Joel Otto's the guy that takes a lot of the face-offs, and he, of course, was injured in the first period.
Lindros wins this one. The Flyers just do manage to keep it in the zone. Sean Podino tied up effectively by Bill Holder. And the puck dribbles in on Hextall. This will be another icing call on Tampa Bay, this time with 43.2 seconds left. And the Flyers, of course, missing 3 bodies that started the game healthy. They're going to have to gut this one out and hope that at least 1 or maybe 2 of those guys can get back in time for Sunday afternoon.
It's broken up all their line combinations. You know, you've got from 1 to 4, you've got line combinations. Everybody's going, everybody's thinking the same way. You have to juggle, you have to react, and you have to obviously try to come up with situations that combinations for players, twosomes or guys that have played well together, and keep them going. Right now, see, you've got a unique situation. You've got Lindros and you've got Sean Podine going side by side in this 4-on-4.
Don't think they're too familiar with one another. Those are the line combinations they had yesterday at practice. Lindros wins it back to the point, but Desjardins can't keep it in. Overtime approaches. A giveaway in the Philadelphia zone, and luckily Lindros got back there to pick it off. Now back to Podine at center. Luckily for Philadelphia, that is. Lindros sprawls at the blue line. Grattan. Brad Bellows held up at the blue line with 15 seconds now left in regulation. There's Petit. Michel Petit in on Hextall. Maybe time for one more rush by the Flyers. Lindros top of the circle, takes the shot wide, and it appears we're headed for sudden death overtime in game number 2. That is the case. So the Tampa Bay Lightning, beaten to a pulp 7-3 in game 1, take the Flyers to overtime because that man, Alexander Selovanov's goal here in the 3rd period, tied it at 1. Coming up, the New Dodge Intermission Report with our main man, Kenny Mayne. All the NHL scores and highlights, and some sobering news about a tragedy from the world of college football, along with an NBA record. That's coming up with Kenny Mayne, the New Dodge Intermission Report. Here in Philadelphia, the concession stands will once again have lines to deal with because we're headed for overtime, 1-1. We'll be back in a few minutes with the sudden death. An overtime game of the playoffs so far, and a game that saw a goal early and a goal late.
Yeah, it did, and it saw a lot of things right in between as well, a lot of injuries, but the Tampa Bay Lightning got back in the 3rd period and really dominated that period, but the Philadelphia Flyers early on, this is not a pretty goal. This is not what we saw in game 1. This is a broken play and a fortunate play for the Philadelphia Flyers in that there was no penalty called. A blast by Dale Howard-Chuck under 2 minutes into the game gave Philadelphia what they wanted on home ice. The fans into it, try to get Pupa off his game, try to get Tampa Bay on their heels, and Dale Howardchuk scores his second goal in as many games. This was a blast. He got great wood on this shot. One of the few errors on Darren Pupa's part, and I don't think he saw it all, but the Tampa Bay Lightning in the third period. This is their second even strength chance of the entire game. Keep your eye on number 12, Black, right here. Lets her fly. Good save by Hextall. Right of your screen, Selivanov slides in and fires a pinpoint perfect shot. Low to the stick side, a difficult save for a goaltender to make. And Selivanov has been good in this hockey game. That has been the best line for Terry Crisp and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
The Lightning have never won a game, never, here at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. A win tonight would tie this series up at 1. We'll be back with overtime in a moment. To this NHL Eastern Conference quarterfinal, and Eric Lindros, well, he doesn't have as much help as he had to start the game, but he'll be huge in OT. And remember Lindros from earlier in this contest as he closes in on Darren Pupa. Feathers a pass across. Howardchuk on the doorstep. Huge save by Pupa, and he covered up on the rebound.
And afterwards, Renberg just got smoked from behind. Lindros, what great speed he has. And there's no caution in the wind here. He's driving to that net, even though he suffered an injury early on in this game. No hesitation at all. And Howardchuk didn't get much on that backhander, but it was a very good save by Darren Pupa nonetheless. So Eric Lindros so far in this hockey game, no shots on goal, Tom, in that third period. He's got 2 total, and the overall shots on goal.
There you see all-time playoff record. Well, this is the first ever for Tampa Bay. Philadelphia 12-5 at home, and they've won 5 consecutive Stanley Cup overtime games. Druce, Leclerc, and Otto all injured earlier, not to be found on the ice in overtime. Keep that in mind. An excuse, just a fact of life that Philadelphia will have to live with. At Balloon at center. Comes into the Tampa Bay zone. Brindamore, Falloon, Selivanov from behind. Falloon took a dive, but that won't be a penalty, not in overtime. Brindamore behind the goal. Falloon at the doorstep. Pupa somehow got a piece of that. It comes back out to Falloon. The Flyers crashing the net early on. Ron Brindamore. John Cullen says enough of this. And the Lightning skated to center.
Great start for 2/3 of that line that was so dominant in game 1. Of course, they were without John Druce, one of the 4 players that were injured in this game, but Brindamore and Falloon showing that chemistry again.
Now Selivanov tries to get it to the legs of Holler. Chris Gratton maybe had a chance to take a shot, didn't take it. And Brindamore skates to center. Now it's Howardchuk for Philadelphia. Howardchuk, his shot just to the stick side. Lindros throws it in front, but nobody home. Michel Petit. Ryan Bellows, bad angle shot. Hextall got a piece of that. Now it's Chris Gratton behind the goal. Jason Weimer tied up by Terrien. Sends it in front. And is intercepted, but Hammerlick keeps it in the Philadelphia zone. Could be a key as Bellows takes it down low. Petit pitching in, but puts it on the stick of Terrien. And Chris Terrien off the glass, but not out. Jason Weimer from the slot. Glove save. Hextall. Oh, bouncing puck in front of him. And he'll cover it up for the faceoff.
Terrific pace early on in overtime. Furious at both ends of the ice. The latter stages, though, pressure on Ron Hextall. And with pressure, you find bad clearing attempts. Chris Terrien has the puck, no one around him. Actually, it was an awful bounce off the boards. That's what happened. Bad bounce, shot on goal, and Hexie really struggled with this one. Instead of going right in the left jar, he scrambled with it, got it on the cuff of the glove, and had to really battle just to corral the rebound. Good shot by Weimer right here, just put it on net. Anything can happen, as we saw last year in the playoffs with Vladimir Konstantinov's shot in overtime.
Off the face-off, Tampa Bay. Patrick Poulin put a quick shot in on Hextall. Now it's Dykhouse for Philadelphia. Tampa Bay's first ever overtime game of their first ever appearance in the series. And to tie the series at 1. Here's a deflected puck on the stick of Quinn, but he couldn't control it. Danny Quinn takes it away from Aaron Gavey. Down to the corner to Sean Codine. Gavey allowed room to try and clear it. On the boards, and Gavey eventually skates to center. Patrick Poulin, he's got first to speed. On the left wing, tied up by Dykhouse. Dan Quinn around the boards, but Shaw keeps it in the zone. Dykhouse and Mikhail Anderson battle for it. Deflects into the crowd. 17:20 to go in the first OT. A Stanley Cup update. Kenny Mayne.
We are stretching your cable dollar. St. Louis down once, 3-1 to Toronto, but here they come, 3-3 here third. Igor Kravchuk, his shot is stopped. Brett Hull follows, his shot is not stopped. It's 4-3 St. Louis, trying to go up 2-0 in this series. But wait, there's more. Colorado, Vancouver, there in the second. The game tied at 3 apiece. Vancouver coming on the power play. Trevor Linden, Martin Jelena, he shoots. He shoots eventually. He scores eventually. 4-3 Vancouver.
Oh, great action around. All the scores and highlights in the NHL tonight, later on tonight. Loose puck at center. Paul Eisenberg. Now Rob Tamner dumps into the zone. Kevin Haller back for Philadelphia. Now Mees and Darren Pang from the Spectrum. Game 2. Tampa Bay and Philly. Game tied at 1. The Flyers lead the series 1 game to none. Igor Yulanov and Trent Flett. Yulanov around the boards. Eventually the Lightning clear it to center, but Brind'Amour is there. Nobody taking any chances in OT.
You still have to play your same style. I mean, it's sudden death, and you can ill afford to make an important mistake. You got to play within what the system you play with for the whole regular season. Can't change it up just because it's overtime.
Washington can catch up to it as Shell Samuelson. That'll cause an icing on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Samuelson's long stride and reach paying off there.
Well, the keys in this hockey game has certainly been the pairing of veteran defensemen. David Shaw has worked the ice with Igor Yulanov, and they have been terrific. Both guys, they've been on the ice anytime Eric Lindros has been on the ice. 5-on-5 and 4-on-4 situations, sometimes, of course, on the penalty kill. But in that last shift, Lindros cut his short, went to the bench for a breather, and now, with this pairing, he's going to go up not against that tandem.
Face-off, Lindros and Sean Bird to the right of Darren Pupa. Both goaltenders have been excellent tonight. Don Cullen up to the breaking Selivanov, but Howard Chuck breaks that up. Here's Michael Renberg around Michel Petit, but Petit gets enough of him to break the play up. Chris Therien loses possession of the puck. Sean Bird takes it away. Pass by Bird. Shot save. Hextall. Selivanov had a great chance. And Hextall with the first huge save of overtime. Eric Lindros cleared the zone but brought it back in himself. And he's tied up to the blue line. Tampa Bay with it. And they give it away. Hammerlich back in his own end. Chris Therien. Now taken away by Selivanov. Hammerlich the long one. Hextall lets her go. And Lindros dumps into the Tampa Bay end. Corey Cross back behind his own goal as Philadelphia goes for a manpower change. Mason Weaver takes a hit by Dykhouse. Corey Cross plays onside, and Cross came within a whisker of winning this game. Just wide of the glove side of Hextall. Dykhouse in the corner. Now it's Peter Svoboda. 5 minutes gone and a sudden death overtime. Sean Bodine. Lima at center has it hop over his stick. Patrick Kulak gets a turnover. He's bodied off. Svoboda around the boards and over the stick of Shaw. And this is going to be icing on Philadelphia as Yulanov touches up. More Stanley Cup action. Kenny Mayne.
All right, Toronto down 4-3, trying to even this series up at 1-1, and here they come. Larry Murphy with the puck, kicks it out. Kirk Muller, he's centered, he's shooting, and he's scoring. 4-4 game.
Kenny and Darren, every time St. Louis and Toronto get together, it's always a great series.
Well, turnover by Philadelphia in this one here anyway. Chris Therien takes the puck as he's trying to stick handle, looking up ice. He loses control of the puck. Now he gets caught. Now we've got an odd man situation. Burr makes a perfect pass right on the tape to Selivanov, and Ron Hextall has been sharp, reading that play very well.
Shaw now controls the faceoff for Tampa Bay. Paul Eisenberg. On the backhand on the stick of Haller, though. Then Ross tied up by Mikhail Anderson. Flyers do clear it to center. And this should be icing on Philadelphia again as it dribbles over the goal line, and Shaw touches up. Another key face-off in the Philadelphia end.
We were talking about whiskers earlier, Tom, because anytime in overtime, put the puck on net, no matter what situation. Basically, obviously, if it's a no-brainer and there's a guy in front, but it never hurts to put the puck on net. Corey Cross just lets this fly. Watch how close this comes. Oh, he was off by a foot and a half or so, but that's a good scoring chance. And besides that, you got your point man at the right point anyway, so that puck's going to come right around there. And Tampa Bay was able to keep the puck in the zone.
Anderson with a face-off win. Ulanov and Hextall calmly steers it into the crowd. You know, when Cross took that shot in real action, it looked a lot closer than that.
That's a long whisker, though. And you and I we don't have long whiskers like that.
No.
Big-time face-offs right now. We talked about it. There is no Joel Otto on this hockey club. And face-offs become so important. Philadelphia has had the slight edge in this game, but that face-off won back. And Ulanov lets it fly.
Another Ulanov shot, another Hextall save. Isabart, Zamaner just whacks it toward the goal, never got close, and Philadelphia breaks out Brindamore. Brindamore pulls up, dumps to the corner. Trent Platt is sent sprawling, penalty on Tampa Bay. The Lightning going to get called for a penalty as Trent Platt at the doorstep was sent sprawling.
Oh, and then then Shaw just gave him another little shot, maybe trying to goad him into a penalty himself to take off another man. In overtime, that must be an awful feeling, going off to the penalty box alone, not bringing anybody with you. Shaw has been real good in this hockey game. Real strong, sound, fundamentally sound. Terry Chris takes down some notes. It could be a key part to this hockey game. The penalty killing of Tampa Bay has been good, though.
Yes.
In this contest, there's no doubt about that. The Flyers are 1 for 7 with the man advantage. Rod Brindamore doesn't get in there on the forecheck. Klatt does.
And after the penalty, Shaw give a little face rub to Klatt there.
It happened earlier. He right in front of the net. He definitely got the cross-check over on him. He definitely got the cross-check on him that sort of went off the back part of your shoulder pads. It looked like it kind of rolled right up the shoulder pads and then got him right to the lower part of the neck. And Dvorsky was right there, so you're right, a rare call in overtime. And Philadelphia has a glorious opportunity here with the man advantage, the 8th power play of the game.
You got Howard Chuck out there with Renberg and Lindros, the points man by Desjardins and Svoboda. Darren Pupa has to come up huge for the Lightning here. Aaron Gavey taking the face-off. Lindros wins it. Desjardins and Svoboda. Desjardins in the slot, shoots just wide stick side. Howard Chuck tripped up in front. He and Renberg trying to work a play. The puck is on the back of the net, so they'll face it off in the Tampa Bay end.
One thing I like about this Philadelphia power play, when everyone's healthy, I like having Howard Chuck back on the point. Well, right now with the injuries that have happened, there's no John LeClair to be in front of the net. So Howard Chuck now is being put in a position where he's got to take the cross checks in front of the net. He's got to be down low. He likes it up high on the point on the power play. But again, the good news is Michael Renberg's healthy, so they're able to have Renberg in there. But Peter Svoboda and Desjardins are on the point. Maybe a good possibility late in this power play when they make a change that Howard Chuck slides back there on the point.
Howard Chuck, remember when he was in St. Louis, played low on the power play, and he didn't like that. Said he didn't like that at all. Was happy when he came here to Philly, and look at the face-offs. So key. We say that. Lindros pounces on this one. Top of the circle. Down low. Howard Chuck trying to center and couldn't, and Tampa Bay clears it. Desjardins behind his own goal. Minute and a half to go on this overtime power play for Philadelphia. Desjardins lofting it in, and the whistle will stop play for a face-off. 13:05 to go in the first OT.
Tampa Bay executed that breakout by Philadelphia perfectly. They've got one guy in sweeping. They've got another guy coming through the neutral zone sweeping. And then, as Lindros tries to drag the blue line, while Gavey runs into him, gets his stick up high. The whistle had already gone. Boy, Lindros has he's been a gritty performer in this hockey game. Taking the injury, then trying to take control of this game. Playing wounded, have that nick on the nose as well. That's playoff hockey. That's what it's all about. A good penalty killing by Tampa Bay.
Flyers win the face-off at center. Svoboda sends in. Philadelphia's only goal tonight coming out of power play at 1:48 of the first period by Howard Chuck. And Quinn. At center, off the skate of Brindamore. Flyers a bit disorganized. Minute to go in their power play. Matt Falloon skates in, tries to get a pass to Brindamore. Falloon trying to hit Brindamore again. But it hit part of Ulanov and never got on goal. Now it's Quinn. Quinn back to the point. Carl Backhouse. Save. Rebound. Save. Hoopa with Brindamore in the slide. Lightning dodging a bullet that time. Aaron Hoopa coming up huge. Backhouse will dump in again. Oh, and a weird bounce, and it ends up on the side of the goal.
I'm jumping all over the place now. I love this stuff. What a save by Hoopa.
Yes.
Wow, what a terrific reaction save. That was their best moment on the power play. Danny Quinn is so good at this. Sees the ice so well, makes the pass. Dykhouse with the shot. Watch the save. Watch the right pad now on Brindamore. Right there.
Yes.
Right pad glove. Got over there quickly. And with Falloon in front of the net, Brindamore has a great crack at it right there. Excellent reaction. See Ulanov behind the net. He's playing backup goaltender right there. And the reaction of the Philadelphia Flyers is there. Oh, boy, Jel Samuelson jumped up there.
You know what's impressive about the move by Hoopa? He is a big goalie. He's a big man. And be able to move like that this late in the game, you got to give him the nod.
You bet you do. Look at Tampa Bay. 5 shots already in this overtime session.
Lindros wins the faceoff and carries in. Lindros shoots, save, Hoopa, and it goes into the crowd. And that might have hurt Darren Hoopa, or at least stunned him. That's a heavy shot from Lindros.
Well, you know, Darren Hoopa's been suffering. He's had a strained back all year long. This one was high, though. I'm wondering about the reaction after he went down, if he didn't bother that. Lindros on the faceoff went forward instead of backwards, and Aaron Gavey trying to hold him up. A nice little sweep play to get the puck over the stick of Holder, and this puck's on end. Oh, that's right off the melon. Man! I love Jacques Plante when I see things like that.
Yes.
Right off the noggin. The puck's rolling, though. This is a scary situation. Oh, gee, my goodness. That was closer than it looked on that. That was a close shot.
Remember Jerry Cheevers used to draw little marks on his helmet where pucks hit him in the head?
Absolutely. Well, Hoopa had to shake that one off. Good hard shot by Eric Lindros.
Gavey Lindros again, and Lindros wins it, kicks it back to Desjardins. Takes the shot, save, Hoopa, rebound, Lindros, backhanded, Hooper's down, and he freezes the puck, and another face-off, and bodies tumble behind the goal. This has been a war tonight.
Good battle. Really a good battle behind the net. Every time you're in close, you're going to pay the price. And that's also good, solid defense as well. Tampa Bay has been physical and assertive inside their own zone. Nothing like in the first game. Lindros, that one just hopped over his stick. Then he goes on the backhand. See the armpit?
Yep.
Right armpit of Hoopa, and he makes the save. And Eric Lindros, earlier than that. Let's full speed ahead, Tommy. Right in your living room.
Let's listen.
You hear the clang? Just that hollow sound, that clang.
Thud.
Those masks are great.
Lindros wins another face-off to Desjardins. Still on the power play, Philadelphia. Renberg. It'll expire in 10 seconds. Shot, save, rebound, slow. Puck is back in. And what's the story? No, the puck is not over the goal line. Don't know where it is exactly, but it's not in the net.
It's in the crease right there. Dvorsky's pointing at it. He was in very good position. With Hoopa falling back the way he fell back, that's where it's tough. I mean, you never know where that puck is. If it's in the gear and he's behind the line, then it would be a goal. But Lindros in front of the net. Good battle again with Ulanov, causing a havoc in front of Hoopa. That's the game plan. Hoopa makes that one save. No goal. Good play. Ulanov did a nice job. Blade of his stick along the ice. Dvorsky, though, right there.
And very decisive in the call.
Can't be caught in a bad position in overtime, I guess, but good pressure by Philadelphia.
He face off, 6 seconds left on the Tampa Bay penalty. Lindros controls it now. The penalty just about up. It'll be over in 2 seconds. Flyers want to try and continue their pressure. Penalty is over. Renberg, Howard sunk in the corner. Ulanov tries to clear. Can't do it. Mikhail Anderson finally gets it to Zamaner, who puts it to center. So Tampa Bay has dodged the first serious bullet of sudden death overtime. You see this team rolling with every shift in the playoffs. Desjardins behind his own goal. Haller just lost it to center. Hammerlick back at his own end. Michel Petit has to go back at his own. Off the stick of Gratton at center. Now here's Gratton again. The Brian Bellows takes a shot. He scores! Brian Bellows! Tampa Bay is even a series at 1.
What a play by Brian Bellows, who's a good shooter. A good shooter of the puck, and he corralled the loose puck. And it is awfully quiet right here in Philadelphia. You try to sneak out a victory on visitor ice to split the series, and they did so. And the goal coming 9:05 into the first overtime session. Terry Crisp and the Tampa Bay Lightning played a sound game and rebounded so well from that disastrous first game in which they gave up 7 goals. Brian Bellows, he's just a natural shooter of the puck, and he let that fly underneath Ron Hextall.
3 years ago, Bellows was a member of a Stanley Cup champion in Montreal. He's been down this road before. He knows what it takes. And Brian Bellows evens up the series, and that man, Darren Pupa, deserves a big round of applause.
Oh, there is no doubt about that. Darren Pupa made key and crucial saves down the stretch in the early going, got his confidence early, even took one on the melon for the hockey club. But through the neutral zone, Haller trying to move the puck up quickly. Gratton read the play. Turnover, transition, nice little back pass right here. I thought Bellows was going to miss that pass. He gained control of it, and you see Weimer in front of the net, maybe causing a disturbance on Ron Hextall, but it went underneath the stick and the pad of Hextall, and Klatt can't come back, and Bellows does an excellent job of following up and putting that puck on net. Game over.
And you can tell it's Stanley Cup time. The Eastern Conference champs are even with Tampa Bay. The Rangers are down 2 games, and Pittsburgh trails in their series with the Washington Capitals. Coming up next on ESPN2, the NHL tonight. The NHL's walking wounded, a lot of injuries here, but not only here, as well as a preview of Game 2 of the Jets Wings and late action from McNichols in Denver, the Canucks and Avalanche. Our final score, Tampa Bay on a goal by Brian Bellows at 9:05 of overtime has evened this series up at 1 with a 2-1 victory. The NHL tonight coming up in just a moment.
We have hockey game 2, Canucks Avalanche. Hirsch making his first ever playoff start for Vancouver. Barry, we got a matchup here, Tikkanen and Forsberg.
Exactly. They're shadowing Tikkanen, trying to help Forsberg, but it doesn't work here. He fights through the check and scores a goal. Great players do that.
Take another look.
Battle from behind. Kaminsky throws a one-handed. You see him fight through Tikkanen's check there. Not good for a shadow to do that. My favorite player, Gino Odjick here, a good cross-check. Right behind the head there, steps in front, knocks his guy down, tips a goal, and great shift for Gino. Look at the dance after.
Great dance. We're tied at 1. Back comes Colorado. Uwe Krupp back from that major knee injury. The big backhander redirects past Hirsch. Hirsch takes it with a high stick. Barry, what do you have?
You see it right here. Backhander, it's in the air. Recchi touches it, but don't forget, it has to be below the crossbar, which it really was. It's a goal.
So it's 2-1 Colorado. Seesaw back to Vancouver. McGillney digs it out. Comes around, circles, falls down, shoots and scores. Great goal. Wow, we're tied at 2. Colorado now on a power play. Scott Young gets it to Sandis Ozolinsh. Wide open net, bangs it in there. 3-2 Colorado. Now looking for insurance. Claude Lemieux shoots. Hirsch the save, juggles it. Looks like he could join the circus. Great juggling act for the save. Vancouver now looking for the tie. Mike Ridley to Sillinger. Breakaway hits the post. 3-2 Colorado after 1. Second period. Russ Courtnall dumps down low. Trevor Linden puts it in. We're tied at 3. More Canucks now. McGillney leads Linden over to Jelena. Past Wabberry, 4-3 Vancouver.
Great passing play, and as you see the pass come across from Linden, Patrick gets across, but doesn't get enough of it with his stick, only directs it in the top corner. Great try, though.
So, right now, Vancouver up 4-3 after 2. Linden for Vancouver, 1 goal, 1 assist. McGillney for Vancouver, 1 goal, 1 assist. As we mentioned, first career playoff start in the net for Corey Hirsch. McLean awful in game 1, so it's Hirsch getting the call here. A Patrick Waugh win will place him 4th on the all-time playoff win list. Right now, though, he's down 4-3. We will keep you posted. Hi there, Bill Pito along with Barry Melrose. Great to have you with us on a wild night. It's the NHL tonight. We begin with the Blues. Wayne Gretzky missed the last 2 weeks of the season with a bad back. The time off allowed Gretzky to rest, and he was recharged in Game 1 against Toronto, passing off for 3 assists. In goal, Grant Fuhr says he has a lot of fun come playoff time. He made Game 1 no fun for the Leafs, stopping 33 shots. More on Fuhr in a moment, but first, Gretzky focused, Gilmore got into it with Gretzky in game 1. Here, Gilmore gets into it with Brett Hull. Blues get a good chance. Gretzky skates in, hits the brakes. Hull with a chance, but Potvin makes a stop. Watch what happens next. Fuhr in the crease. Chris Pronger nails Kyprios into Fuhr. He's hurt on that play, would stay in. Fuhr stays in the game, although he's hurt. Stops Matt Sundin's shot from in close. On this play, Matthew Schneider goes down with an eye injury. He would come back, but Fuhr comes out. A torn ligament in the right knee. Terrible news for the Blues. So they go to John Casey. Of course, it was Fuhr who got just about all the playing time in the regular year. And here, Casey didn't look very good because Toronto with a chance. Warner's shot stopped by Casey, but Gartner there bangs in the rebound. 1-0 Toronto. Toronto keeps coming. 2-on-1 now. Could Casey stop this? No. Wendell Clark with a goal. 2-0 Toronto. Blues though. Back on the power play. Kravchuk's blast tipped in by Shane Corson. Blues are down by the score of 2-1. Leafs though respond. Gilmore's drive from the boards tipped in by Matt Sundin. 3-1 Leafs after one. Casey gave up 3 goals in that one period. Less than a period, actually. Second period, Pronger tripping up Gilmore. Gilmore and Domi get penalties for unsportsmanlike conduct. Both can't believe it. Fans litter the ice with debris in response to that call. So we got a situation. Now, after 1 goal, it's 3-2 Leafs. Huddy scored for the Blues. That's a situation. Murray Barron, shorthanded, beats Potvin. Ties the game at 3 after 2. Third period. Schneider back from the hospital. Leafs power play. Schneider the blast, and Casey makes a save. Game still tied at 3 goals apiece. Late third. Kravchuk the blast. Potvin the save. But Hull puts in the rebound. St. Louis up 4-3. But just over 5 minutes to go in regulation. Kirk Muller for Toronto. And he ties the game up at 4 goals apiece. That's where we stand right now after regulation, tied at 4. St. Louis has never lost a series when leading 2-0. Shane Corson for St. Louis, 1 goal, 1 assist. For Toronto, Doug Gilmour, 2 assists. But the serious knee injury to Fuhr, who set NHL records this year for starts and appearances in 1 season by a goalie. The officials had warned both teams about being in the crease, and it's a guy in the crease who hurts Fuhr.
Well, before the game, John D'Amico, the supervisor of officials, came in and made a point to our coaching staff that he felt that our team had maybe gone into the crease a little too much on Felix Potvin, and they were going to get ready to call that. And I guess you all saw the play. Kyprios was cross-checked by Pronger. He was in the crease, cross-checked by Pronger, and he made sure that he fell right on Grant Fuhr. And it looks as though he's torn his ACL, and it looks as though he's probably out for the series. So not too many people are happy in the St. Louis dressing room right now.
Sad irony here. Fuhr at 33 holds up all year, just about starting every single game, and now he breaks down in the playoffs.
Well, it's a huge pivotal time in this series because, number one, if Grant Fuhr gets hurt, St. Louis can come back and win this game after being down 3-1. The momentum certainly goes to St. Louis. They show they can win without Grant Fuhr. The good thing is, don't forget, John Casey has NHL experience, Stanley Cup experience with Minnesota a few years ago, so he's a proven goaltender and a guy who could revive his career if he has a very good playoff. So that's a very positive thing. But if the Blues can come back, win with all this adversity, they're certainly going to be a very pepped-up, popular, excited club when they get back to St. Louis. And as far as what Roger's saying, every player in the league, when he gets that close and gets pushed from behind, he goes into the goaltender. It's not just what Kyprios did there. Everybody does it. They're told to do that. You go to the net now. It's just an unfortunate accident at this time of the game.
St. Louis and Toronto, 4-4 after 3. We'll keep you posted as they begin overtime. Much more to come on NHL tonight. When we come back, we will check out Montreal and the Rangers as the Rangers try to go T-bowling. So stay right where you are. We're back with more after this. In Game 1 against Montreal, the Rangers' top line of Mark Messier, Adam Graves, and Pat Verbeek were all a -3. So it didn't matter that New York outshot Montreal 45-32. And lurking just around the corner, the trip to Montreal, where the Rangers have just 1 win in their last 21 visits. We got Quintal being ridden into the boards by Verbeek, no penalty called. More hitting. David Wilkie gets a high stick up on Kovalev. So the Rangers with a power play. And on the power play, Dan Foose, who's been killing the Rangers. He did it in the regular year. He's doing it in the playoffs. Breaks in. Great move. Short-handed goal. 1-0 Montreal. Rangers pressure now. Sundstrom intercepts at center ice. Ahead to Curry, in all alone, but Tebow makes a save.
Camera from the goal thing here, you see Tebow get it with his glove, his blocker. Just gets it as he's going over the line. Great hand-eye coordination by Tebow. Colin Campbell doesn't know what's going on. Another breakaway here by Shane Churla. T-bowling. Shane loves to go into the net.
It's the goal cam here. Leach to the box, Habs two-man advantage. Danfus centers. It's not Ricci, it's not Ricci, it's Ricky with a goal. It's 2-0 in favor of Montreal.
I don't care what you call him, Bill. Great play here. Goes to the net, shows a lot of guts. Puck's laying there. He knows he's going to get hit from behind. Stands in there, puts it in the net. Great goal.
Nothing going right for the Rangers. Door stuck. They can't get off the ice. Heavy hitting now.
And the people are booing. They want off.
We got Savage and Samuelson. Bang, bang. Watch it again. That's a bang, bang. Rangers now on the power play. Robitaille booed throughout the game by the home crowd. Gives it up to Koivu. 3-on-1. Another shorthanded break. Koivu to Odeline. And another shorthanded goal. It's 3-0 Montreal. Messier says, what in the world is going on?
You can see the Montreal Canadiens right here.
Chris
Great
Murray.
move there. Chris Murray beats Jari Kurri, who's playing defense in the power play. Big save by Richter. Could have been a game turner. Gets it with his leg as he's dragging it there. Great save.
4 minutes now left in the second. Momesso, he's got a goal. Rangers down 3-1. Messier's mood has changed. Rangers trying to climb back in. 2 minutes left. Another Habs odd man rush. 2-on-1. Richter makes a save on Savage. Though it's 3-1. Montreal after 2. Mario says, we like it. Third period. Tebow the save. Rebound though. Samuelson to Momesso. Rangers down 3-2. Habs now with a chance. 2-on-1. Beret to Danfus. Richter the save. Beret with a chance, but hits the outside of the net.
I thought New York was going to win this game when these two didn't go in. Gist gets it with the edge of his stick and miss on the side. Another open net on the other side.
Under 8 minutes to go. Samuelson, one time at a bang, 7th career playoff goal in his 99th playoff game. We're tied at 3. But just over 3 minutes left. It's Vinny again. Donald checking it out. Vinny Danfus, second goal of the game, 4th goal of the series. He beats Richter, 4-3 Montreal. Bureau adds an empty netter. Oh boy, Montreal up now 2-0. They win game 2, 5-3. So Danfus, 2 goals, 2 assists in the 2 games, has 8 goals and 5 assists in 6 games against the Rangers this year. Rangers have never, ever won a series when trailing 2-0 in the loss. Momesso, 2 goals. And now they have to go Barry to Montreal. As we mentioned, they've won just 1 of their last 21 at Montreal.
It was like reverse sweater night tonight. The New York Rangers were the team that was undisciplined. They looked like the inexperienced team. The Montreal Canadiens look very poised, very disciplined, totally reverse of what it should be with the experience of the New York Rangers. But this is ridiculous. New York's a better club. They're bigger, they're older, more experienced. Goaltending's experience. They should be winning this series. They're being outworked by Montreal, and they're being out-timed by Montreal. As Montreal scores key goals at the right times, they fight back and make it 3-3. That's when their experience should have taken over tonight. It didn't. Colin Campbell's got a lot of work to do getting his team to believe in themselves again, because right now they don't. Very undisciplined show tonight by the New York Rangers, and frankly didn't play very well at all, Bill. They didn't deserve to win this game.
Okay, much more to come on NHL tonight. When we return, we will take a look at the other series in the East. Tampa Bay trying to upend Philadelphia and Eric Lindros. Great game. We'll have the highlights and post-game reaction when we continue after this. Welcome back, everybody. From Philadelphia last year, most of the scoring was done by the Legion of Doom line. This year, it's a much different story. In Game 1 against Tampa Bay, 7 different Flyers scored goals, and 10 different Flyers had at least a point. Rod Brindamore says it makes everybody feel good that not just one line or one guy is getting all the scoring. Game 2, again, from Philadelphia. And let's take a look at the activity. Loose puck. Dale Howardchuk again for the Flyers. 1-0. Just over 1:30 into it. Terry Crisp doing what he always does. And what is that? Well,
writing.
Yeah, taking notes. 8 minutes later, Flyers with a 2-on-1. Leclerc, the first to speed up the middle. Going to find Lindros, but Poopa Scoopa, not good in Game 1, great in this one, makes a save. Now Leclerc bursting up the middle, and it's Poopa again with the Scoopa. Late first period. Lindros upended by Ulanov. Flyers said it was a bruised left kneecap. Lindros came out, was upset. Early second period, Hextall in the net here will make the save on Selivanov. And introducing, returning from the locker room, number 88, Eric Lindros. Standing ovation as Lindros not seriously injured. Physical now, Leclerc jumps on top of Hammerlick. Look at that, no call. Now, late second period, Flyers on the break-in. Leclerc runs into Poopa, And watch on the replay, LeClaire, his left ankle will get pinned here under Pupa, and LeClaire leaves the game in obvious pain, a sprained left ankle for John LeClaire, the 50-goal scorer, 51 actually in the regular season, a lot of pain right there. Early third period, Selivanov gets the rebound, and he's going to wrist one past Hextall. We're tied at 1, and we go into overtime. In overtime, the most experienced Tampa Bay player when it comes to playoff experience, Brian Bellows. He beats Hextall in OT. Lightning with a dramatic victory on the road. Terry Crisp can put away the notepad. He's got a happy ending as Tampa Bay wins it 2-1. First ever win at the Spectrum in 10 games. Pupa Scoopa, 26 saves, including 7 in the OT. Flyers power play just 1 for 8. Flyers lose a game. Listen to the injuries. Joel Otto, sprained left knee. John Druce, sprained left knee. John LeClaire, we showed you the sprained left ankle. So the series now tied at 1 game apiece. More now on the game from the guys who called it, Tom Mees and Darren Payne.
Bill, here at the Spectrum, the Tampa Bay Lightning tied up the series with Philadelphia 1-1, only 3 goals in the game, but the big one in OT from a guy who's done this before.
Unbelievable. The experience. He won a Stanley Cup in 1993 with Montreal. Congratulations, Brian Bellows. A huge goal, obviously.
Thank you very much. I tell you, I felt really good, and I had about 4 or 5 shots this game, and each time I just kept trying to keep her low, put it in his legs or put it between him, and it's good to see one finally go through.
On the play, a little turnover in the neutral zone, but the puck was bouncing. Put us through this.
Grattan gave me a good chip pass on his backhand, and right there I was going to shoot, but I had to wait, and finally the puck laid down enough where I could get my stick on it flat and keep it low. And that was a big thing. I had to wait for the puck to go flat before I could, really do anything. But you see here, good heads-up play by Chris Grattan. Backhand, saucer pass, and, the ice was bad, and the time I got it. Right there I wanted it, but I had to wait, and got it right when the puck was flat, and next thing you know, it's in the net. So we're going back to Tampa Bay.
Going back tied at 1, and I think kudos for your goaltender, Darren Pupa, Brian. He really rebounded after a tough night in Game 1.
That kick save he made in overtime on the power play, when they had the power play, and then Lindros shot off his head. Let's face it, those 2 saves, I don't have a chance to score a goal.
Brian, in this game, obviously Eric Lindros was a target, but Igor Ulanov and Shaw did a marvelous job on big number 88.
I think they did. I think, Ulanov really got the ball rolling. Petit played really, really strong, and Shazi always has been. And but the key was, I think we went after him, and, we were going to hit him. We were going to match him hit for hit, and we turned the tables on them a little bit. I think they weren't quite as prepared for us. I don't really think they thought they were going to come back and battle quite as hard. But, this team, like I said before, has got a lot of character and a lot of heart, and we felt a little embarrassed after that first game.
Brian, congratulations. Your goal at 9:05 of OT wins it, ties up the series. Game 3 Sunday in Tampa Bay. That's it here from the Spectrum in South Philadelphia. Now back to Bill Pito.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Flyers lose a game, a lot of injuries. Tampa Bay, so awful in Game 1. How do you explain the turnaround?
The reason they came out so good is they're embarrassed in Game 1. It's better to get beat like that 7-1, 7-0. If you lose 1-0, play great. In the dressing room after the game, you say, we can't play any better and we lose 1-0. You get killed like that, Terry Crisp come and say, guys, we're awful. Let's forget about it. We can play much better. The Philadelphia Flyers, they win 7-0. They take the team lightly, just like Brian Bellows said. So you got a team taking a team lightly. You got a team that's embarrassed, ready to play harder. And that's why it's better to get killed like that. You can come back the next day and build on that, just like the Tampa Bay did. A real gutsy effort, and they were really physical tonight, and they got to continue to do that.
Now we look ahead in the East. It's Game 2 Friday between Washington and Pittsburgh. Of course, the Penguins blow that 4-1 lead. Carey didn't have it for the Caps, but they were able to come back from that 4-1 deficit because Pittsburgh's defense just didn't show up.
Deja vu all over again, just like last year. Carey wasn't good. He wasn't sharp. Right from the opening whistle, he was throwing the puck away, and they get the 4-1 lead. And right here, right at the start of the game, he was throwing the puck. He wasn't sharp with it. He's usually better with the puck. Samson comes in there, and you see the whole thing wasn't right. Carey gets pulled, and all of a sudden, things start changing. It's 4-1, but then you're starting to see the Pittsburgh problem. Down low, no one takes any man. They all play the puck. They've got to change that if they're going to win this. Everyone's stick checking, nobody taking a man. Eliminate the man you go to. Don't let him get the return pass. Pittsburgh, terrible down low, and if they want to win this series, they're going to score a lot of goals, Bill, but they got to come back and play better in their own end, start winning those individual battles. When a guy passes it, you don't let him jump back and get the return pass, and no stick checking. Finish the guy, knock him on his butt, don't let him get the return pass, and that's what Pittsburgh's got to get better at. Fundamentals.
Fundamentals.
Fundamentals, baby.
Focus.
Woody Hayes.
Yeah, we got a developing situation here. Vancouver, Colorado. Lance, of course, won Game 1. Pick it up here. 4-3, third period. Gino.
Ojic, I love him.
Yeah, his second goal of the game. Oh, Gino.
Look at the dance. Look at the dance.
He's got the dance going, too. He's got no Tifus. He's got a dance. He's got 2 goals. Vancouver up 5-3, trying to tie the series at 1 game apiece. When we come back on NHL Tonight, we look ahead in the West. A great takeoff, but then a crash landing for the Jets in Game 1 against Detroit. Barry's analysis is coming up. But first, we've got to tell you about tonight's question. Montreal had 2 shorthanded goals against the Rangers. So what is the playoff record for most shorthanded goals in a game? We'll have the answer for you when we come back after this. Goals in a game, the answer 3 set by Toronto in 1994, the Islanders in 1983, and the Bruins in 1981. Now we take a look ahead in the West. Detroit and Winnipeg. Winnipeg blowing a 1-0 lead after 2. They go down 4-1, but Nikolai Habe-Bulin, first ever playoff appearance, made 30 saves, and the story for Detroit, as always, everybody chipping in.
Bill, Winnipeg had a great first period. Everything they should have done, they did in the first period. They had a 1-0 lead, no outnumbered chance against, no 2-on-1s, no 3-on-2s. Habe-Bulin gave these guys a chance to win. The first period, he was sharp. You see right here, challenging, standing up, no easy, poor angles, always out square, very acrobatic, and that means he's aggressive. When he's out high like that and poke checking, that means he's a very aggressive, confident goalie. First period is excellent, just like they want to do. In the second and third period, they tried to win 1-0. They quit attacking. As you see here, nobody's attacking. They're all backing in. You see Fedosov, wide open slot. You can't do that against Detroit. You got to pick your men up just like you did in the first period. And they never did that. In the second, third period, they thought, we'll win 1-0. Habe-Bulin will be great. And you can't do that. You got to keep attacking. And that's what Winnipeg can do. They can score in their chances. They don't need a lot of chances to score, as we saw early in the first period. But you can't sit back and just let Detroit come wave after wave after wave, which they did in the second and third period. But a lot of positive things for Winnipeg if they can build on them.
Also, we have Calgary and Chicago. The Blackhawks winning Game 1 4-1. Kidd will not start for the Flames. Tabaracci will get the call in the net for Calgary. And also the return of Jeremy Roenick. Just 1 assist for Chicago, but when he plays, it seems everybody plays better.
Only 1 assist, but this guy hasn't played in a month, and he looked extremely sharp. He looked quick. He looked aggressive. He had good timing. He made a play on the goal. And if he can come back to what a semblance of what he was early in the year, you see the pass to Daze there. Great pass. He's going to add aggressiveness. He's going to add emotion to this team. You see he's always in somebody's face, and that's what he adds to this team. Different team. Joe Murphy, another guy who had a great game. Joe's got to be very important if this team's going anywhere. Nichols had a great playoffs, and he's going to be very important for this team. But those are the guys that are going to have to do it for Chicago. Calgary, on the other hand, this team, without Roberts with the back injury, Sheldon Kennedy scores their goals. If Sheldon Kennedy, who I love and played for me, if he's going to be their main player and score their goals, Calgary's in a lot of problems. They're already changing goaltenders, dueling goaltenders. It doesn't matter. Chicago's a better team. Calgary's got to play hard, run into people just like Tampa Bay, show some character. But the bottom line is Chicago should win this series.
All right, it's over between Toronto and St. Louis. We're in overtime, and here we go. The Maple Leafs. On the power play, Matt Sundin, he's got a goal, his second of the game, and Toronto, a huge win, tying the series at 1 game apiece. The finals 5-4. Grant Fuhr, if you missed it, hurt a knee in the first period. The initial diagnosis, a torn right anterior cruciate ligament. He's done for the series, so bad news all around for St. Louis. This reminder, the Jets against the Wings. Game 2 right here on ESPN2. Friday night. All begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And also Washington and Pittsburgh. Music change. It's a network change. Game 2, ESPN the original. Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome back. 3 stars tonight. 3rd star, Montreal goalie Jocelyn Thibault. 35 saves in Game 2. He had 43 saves in Game 1. He's been playing great. Number 2 star, Montreal's Vincent Damphousse. 2 goals to assist. Montreal beats the Rangers 5-3. Number 1 star, Tampa Bay's Brian Bellows. Overtime beats the Flyers. Tampa Bay evens the series at 1 game apiece. They win it 2-1. Vancouver and Colorado, it was 5-3 in the third. Gino Odjick, 2 goals for the Canucks. Linden, 1 goal, 1 assist. Martin Jelena, 1 goal, 1 assist. Canucks trying to tie it up at 1 game apiece. This reminder, we're back with NHL tonight, Friday night, after the Jets against the Wings, sometime after 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Toronto, St. Louis, the Blues lose Grant Fuhr, and they also lose the game in overtime on the goal by Matt Sundin.
Killer goal because it looked like a soft goal. Looks like one Casey should have. So now Mike Keenan's got to get these guys who believe so much in Grant Fuhr to believe in John Casey if St. Louis has any chance of winning this series. All the momentum now is with Toronto with the Fuhr injury.
And the Rangers down 2-0 going to Montreal, a place they haven't hardly won at all.
it's crazy. They shouldn't be down 2-0, but they are. Colin Campbell's got a big job getting these guys to believe in themselves. They don't believe they're a good team anymore. He's got to get them to believe that they're great again.
All right, that'll do it for Barry Melrose. I'm Bill Pito. It was great to have you with us. We'll see you back here on Friday night. See you, everybody.